We will begin. Good morning. ಎಲ್ಲ ಮಾತಾಡಿದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಏನು ಗುಡ್ ಮಾರ್ನಿಂಗ್ ಸರ್. ವಾಟ್ಸ್ ಗುಡ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ಮಾರ್ನಿಂಗ್? We will begin with partnership, which consists of 3 units. A simple chapter can be done in around 2.5 hours. The first unit is the general nature of partnership. How does the partnership looks? What is the characteristics of the partnership? What are the How does the partnership come into the existence? Who will run the partnership? What are the types of partnership? All those things are discussed here. Partnership is nothing but partnership is nothing but, can somebody log in online? Is it audible? Audio video clear? ಇಲ್ಲ. You don't have access. Golden batch ಒಳಗೆ access ಇದೆ ನೋಡಿ ಈಗ. Law is all the revisions are being conducted in golden batch only. Where are your batch students? ಅವರಿಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. ಲಾಗಿನ್ ಆಗು, ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಲಾಗಿನ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇರೋದು. Is audio video clear? General nature of partnership. Where partnership means what? Partnership means it is a collective name of the partners. It is the association of people which is called as the partnership. If I give the individual identity, we call it as a partner. If we give the collective identity, we call it as a partnership form. Partnership form is not a separate entity. Partnership form is represented, it is like the partner only, it is just the extension of the partner. Because it is an extension of the partner, all the liabilities, all the activities, all the responsibility, rights, all those things are as good as by the partner only. Whatever the activities of the partner, the firm will be held liable, and whatever the activity of the firm, the partner will be held liable, because there are no separate legal entity with respect to the partnership form. So there are few elements in case of partnership form. Partnership is an association of 2 or more persons. Can I say at least we need 2 persons for the purpose of partnership form? What is the maximum number of partners required? Maximum 50. What is the maximum number for small company? Small company. 100. Why? ಅಷ್ಟೊಂದಿಲ್ಲ. 200. Because small company is a private company. Oh.
Public company 200. Public company unlimited.
Where are you, Ramesh? ರಾತ್ರಿ ಎಲ್ಲೋಗಿದೆ ಪಾಠ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ? ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲೇ ಎಲ್ಲ open minded. It is an association of 2 or more persons. At least we need 2 persons. Maximum is 50. And partnership must be a result of an agreement entered into by all the persons concerned. See, agreement should be entered by all the persons concerned. Whoever want to be the partner in the partnership firm, then they should enter into the agreement. But when I say an agreement, does it need to be always written? No, agreement need not be written. If it is written, that is better for the purpose of avoiding of future disputes. That's it. So there should be an agreement, and that agreement should be entered by all the partners concerned. That agreement is called as what? Partnership deed. And partnership is organized to carry what? The business, not the charitable activities. You know, istandi again kanakoti. ಎಲ್ಲಾರು ಹಂಗ ನಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹಾರ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬಂದ್ರ ಯಾರು ಇಲ್ಲ ಈಸ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬಂದ್ರ ಇಲ್ಲ ಇದನ್ನ there should be some business charitable activities. Partnership can't carry out the charitable activity. There should be some profitable business, then only it is called as partnership. And agreement, what is that agreement? Must be to share what? Profits of the business. Is it mandatory to share the losses of the business? No, it is up to them. Either single person can bear the losses or all the persons can bear the losses, but at least they should share the profits. I'm not telling equal sharing. There should be some sharing. 1%, 98%, that is okay. There is no dispute regarding that. And the business must be carried by what? Either by all the people who have signed the partnership deed or by any one of them acting for all. There are some elements of partnership form. They can be asked for 4 marks. What is partnership and what are the elements of partnership? Partnership means it is a relation between persons who are agreed to share the profits of a business carried on by all or any one of them acting for all. Minimum is 2 or more persons, maximum is 50. ಹಿಂಗ್ ಜೋರಾಗಿ ಹಾಕಿದ್ರೆ ಗ್ಲಾಸ್ ಹೊಡೆದು ಕೆಳಗೆ ಬಿದ್ದಿರ್ಬೇಕು ನೋಡಿ ಹಂಗಾಕ ಅದು ಹಿಡ್ಕೋತಿತ್ತು ಅದೇ ಏನಾಗಲ್ಲ ಆ ವೈರ್ ಆಗ್ಲೇ ಇಂಟರ್ಮೀಡಿಯೇಟ್ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಕಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. And there should be an agreement, and agreement should be a voluntary agreement and contractual agreement. It is not the forceful agreement. It is not a coercion. It is not an undue influence. And it is for the purpose of business. What is for the purpose of business? Business includes every trade, every occupation, every profession, etc. And agreement to share the profits. At least they should share the profit. Regarding the losses, then let them decide. But just because they are sharing some profit, it does not mean it is a partnership firm. Just because they share some revenue, it does not mean that that is a partnership firm. For example, there is something called as co-ownership. Me and my brother are owning one property and we are sharing that rent, which whatever it is being derived there. Just because we share the rent, it does not mean that we are partners. It is we call it as co-ownership. Then business must be carried by all or any one of them acting for all. And if you see, if the business is carried by any one of them acting for all, can I say any activity done by this one person will binding on the other persons also? But if he done something which is not there in within the authority, then it is in his own capacity. We call it as fraud or misfeasance, those things. Then there is something called as true test of partnership. Actually, this is the elements of partnership only. They just give separate this thing. They might ask this for 3 marks. Multiple times it is being asked in the 3 marks. So what is this true test of partnership? Whether the partnership is there or not, whether it is a partnership or not, if you satisfy these 3 conditions, then we call it as that's a partnership. Even though there is like not able to find out there is an agreement, written agreement, oral agreement, but if these 3 conditions are satisfied, then it is done. It is like out of those 5 essential elements of a partnership form, 3 elements are taken there. Out of 5, 3 elements has come here. The 3 elements are there was an agreement between all the persons concerned. There was an agreement between all the persons concerned. And agreement was what? To share the profits of the business, and either it should be carried by all or any one of them acting for all. If these 3 conditions you can find it out without having like written thing, all those things. Some 3 people coming together for the purpose of doing business to share the profits without any written agreement, without any formal thing, nothing, then also you can call it as partnership. Sharing of profit means it means whatever the money received from the partnership firm, that has to be shared, but it does not include any profit shared to the lender of money to a persons engaged or about to engage in the business. For example, for the purpose of starting the partnership firm, I borrowed some 10 lakh rupees from SBI, and whenever I have to repay the money, I have to repay from my profit only. Just because I repay my profit or I pay some share of the profit, it does not mean that SBI is my partner, because they are in the capacity of the lender. Then servant or agents as a remuneration, because agent is acting on behalf of the partnership firm only. And widow or child of a deceased partner as an annuity. That means if somebody is a partner and when he dies, if it is there in the agreement, partnership deed, then there is a provision to pay certain amount of money to the widow. That means the wife and children of the deceased partner, if it is mentioned in the partnership deed. If it is not mentioned, then you can pay one goodwill directly. If your husband was a partner, you take this amount, get out of the partnership firm. You don't get anything on annual basis. When it happens, when there is no mentioning in the partnership deed. If it is mentioned, then you can pay on an annual basis. Even it is there in the CA also. Whenever CA we do the partnership, we can also do the partnership. When a partner dies, when a CA dies, he can either their family either can get annuity, we call it as sale of goodwill. Whatever the goodwill that partner has, they can directly sell it to the partner. If it is a sole proprietorship firm, that means one person is doing that, he can the goodwill can be sold to some other person who is chartered accountant, all those things, it can be sold. But in case of partnership firm, they can share that annuity basis if it is there in the partnership deal.
Sir, in case of widow,
Widow?
widow ಅಂದ್ರೆ like ಅವ್ರ ವೈಫ್ ಒಂದು ಕಂಪನಿಯಲ್ಲಿ
ಗಂಡ್ಮಗ.
ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಅವ್ರ ವೈಫ್ ಸತ್ತೋದ್ರೆ ಹಸ್ಬೆಂಡ್ಗೆ ಶೇರ್
That's okay. Yes, definitely. Widow does not mean always lady. Widow means the person who lost the spouse. By the previous owner or part owner of the business as consideration for the sale of goodwill. That means somebody sold, retired from the business and sold his goodwill. You can pay some amount of money from the profit for them also. That is also not considered as partners. Just because you share the profits or you pay these amounts, it does not mean it will not make them as partners of the partnership firm. And then if you see here, sharing of profits is an essential element to constitute a partnership, because one of the essential elements we discussed is sharing of profits. It is only the prima facie evidence, primary evidence, but it is not a conclusive evidence that there is a partnership firm. The sharing of profits are gross returns accruing from property by persons holding joint or common interest in the property would not itself make such a persons as partners. That is what we call it as a joint ownership or co-ownership. Anything can happen. This is not partners, they are just co-owners. Then it is they're telling it will be difficult when there is no specific agreement how much should be shared, how much should be your share, my share, all those things. Then there's a concept called as agency. What is agency? ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಫ್ಯಾನ್ ಹಾಕಿ ನೆನಪೈತೇನ? ಕರ್ಣ ದಾನವೀರ ಶೂರ ಕರ್ಣ. Welcome friend. ಎಂತ ಸಾಹಸ. ನಿಂಗೆ ಚಳಿ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ? ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಚಳಿ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಚಳಿ ಇಲ್ಲ, ನಾನು ಕೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. Agency. What is agency? See, when I say partnership is a what is that result of a partners agreement and they're sharing profits and losses. So agency means all the partners are agent of one other partner, and one partner is agent as well as principal of the other partner and the partnership firm. We call it as the mutual agency, existence of mutual agency, which is the cardinal principle. What do you mean by the word cardinal? Important or primary, important, primary, secondary of the partnership law, is very much helpful in reaching a conclusion in this regard. Each partner carrying on the business is a principal as well as agent of the other partners. So he has to act of one partner done on behalf of the firm binds all the partners. Any activity done by one partner on behalf of the firm binds all the partners. But anything which is done outside the authority or with a view to defraud, then that will not bind the partnership firm as well as the other partners. So they are given the difference. One question was there in the examination: this partnership versus joint stock company. What is joint stock company? It is like a company. Partnership, we know that it is not a legal entity, but company is a separate legal entity which is distinct from its members. In partnership firm, every partner is the agent as well as the principal of the other partner and the firm. But in case of company, member is not the agent of the other members. They are just holding the shares in their respective capacity. And in case of partnership firm, distribution of profits among the partners based on the terms of partnership deed. But here, distribution of profit, it is not compulsion. Whenever the company decides to give the dividend, it can give the dividend. If not, no need to give the dividend also. There is no such compulsion to distribute the profits among the members. Then the liability of the partners is always unlimited in case of partnership firm. And in case of company limited by shares, then the liability, okay, in case of company, liability of the members are limited. You just remember this. And it is actually three types of company are there. One is limited by shares, one is limited by guarantee, unlimited company. We will discuss in case of companies act. There are three types of company, but in all the cases, except this unlimited, the liability of the members is limited.
Can I go there, sir?
Okay.
Suffocation. ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಗೊತ್ತಾಯ್ತು. Fan ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಆಸೆ.
You can put this fan. Fan is suffocation ಆಗುತ್ತಾ? ಅಲ್ಲಲ್ಲ, ಫ್ಯಾನ್ ಇಲ್ಲಂದ್ರೆ ಸಫೋಕೇಶನ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ನಂಗೆ ಗಾಳಿ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ. Everybody is different. Property. See, whatever the property of the firm is there, it is the joint estate of all the partners. But whatever the company's property is there, it is the separate property because it is separate legal entity from members. And with respect to the transfer of partnership percentage, it cannot be done without the consent of all the partners. If you want to transfer your partnership percentage or your partnership ownership, then you can transfer only with the consent of all the other partners. But in case of company, if it is a listed company, you don't need to be asking anybody. You can immediately transfer by of market, NSE, BSE, all those things are available. And company is managed by all the partners, or if there is an agreement, it will be carried by only one partner or two partners, then it will be carried by only that partner. Because one of the essential elements is the business is carried by all the partners or any one of them acting for all. If there is no agreement, all the partners are responsible for business. If there is an agreement, then one party who is agreed to take care of the business, he will take care. But in case of company, members is not entitled to take part in the business. Who is entitled to take part in the business? The management is there, board of directors, management, that will be appointed by the members only. They will take care of the business. And but members do only one thing: what? Attending the general meeting, voting, those things, having breakfast and snacks. That's it. And it is not mandatory to register the partnership firm. But without registration, company will not be called as company only. Because after registration only, it will be a company. After incorporation of company, company can't come into existence unless it is registered. Winding up, it can be dissolved if all the partners agrees that okay, we will wind it up this business over. But in case of company, because it is a legal person, you have to go to a legal entity, not legal entity, legal court, that is ROC, for the purpose of closure, or you should go to either NCLT, National Company Law Tribunal. Both options are available. Then number of members, it is minimum 2, maximum 50, not 100. They said as per that, what is that? 464 of Companies Act 2013, they called it as shall not exceed 100. But later they changed presently, the limit should be 50. As of now, the limit should be 50. 250 only the limit. In case of private company, in case of private company, the maximum number of members are 200, minimum is 2. And in case of public company, 7 and unlimited. Minimum is 7, maximum is unlimited. And how much the duration of existence of the partnership firm? It depends on the partnership agreement. But in case of company, it is perpetual succession. The existence can't be decided today, tomorrow, no. It is perpetual succession. It is there.
If they want to cancel, they can do it.
Yeah, they can do it because it is not, registration is not compulsory. It is freely doable. That is what the difference. See, out of these differences, you should be at least able to write some 7 differences. 6-7 marks question will come. 6-7 marks question will come. You have to do it. And this is not important, but they are given. Partnership versus club. What is partnership versus what is club? Not that club. Club means it is association of person. It is like a gym. Gym is also a club, but there is only one activity. In case of club, there will be multiple activity. You can do cricket also, you can do shuttlecock also, you can do swimming also. You know gym kana? Are you heard about that Rotary Club or this Bangalore Club, something like that? Those clubs are called as clubs. For the purpose of club, there will be some entrance membership fees. You have to pay the membership fees, and if there is a provision for annual membership, like annual renewal fees, you have to pay it. If not, it is for the lifetime. When you die again, your children will get the membership again. It keeps on continuing. I think I have given an example of partnership firm. In Bangalore, there is a club. The waiting period for the club is 33 years. If you want to get the membership of the club, you have to wait for 33 years. And you have to pay a membership fees of 25 lakh rupees. See, still waiting period is there. People are having so much money. See, this club is all these things are only for the purpose of network, nothing else. See, if I paid 15,000, I'll get the best of the best gyms in the city. If I pay 300 rupees or not 300, 200 rupees per hour, I'll get best of the best swimming pools. Do you think because I have the club, I'll go on a daily basis? No, because I meet the good people there, I'll try to go it on a daily basis in the club. This golf club will be there. Every type of club is considered there. Partnership, I don't want to discuss again. I'll directly come to the club. Club is an association of persons formed with an object not earning profit. Their what is that? Object is not to earn the profit, but for the promoting some beneficial purpose or some improvement of health or providing recreational for the members. Swimming, shuttle, cricket, gym, all those things. Who are the persons who are forming the club are called as the members, and nobody is the agent of the other member. Because it is, I am going there because I want to get the benefit, not because I want to enjoy the liability. Why should I pay the membership fees and I get the liability there? You tell me. That is why nobody is agent of other members. And the member of club has no interest in the property of the club. I don't care. I am not the owner. I am not the owner at all. I am just the member of the club. I pay the fees. I am enjoying the benefits. A change in the membership of the club does not affect the existence. That means if the member died, then their son will get. Or if I don't want, I can transfer my membership to somebody else. That means the club is keep on continuing. The change in membership does not affect the member. What is that? The club. But in case of partnership, either it has to be dissolved, either it has to be what is that? Reconstituted. Something has to happen in case of partnership. Then HUF, Hindu Undivided Family. Hindu Undivided Family is like a giant Hindu family also. There will be a head of the family, will be called as what? Karta, who will be having all the rights and liability with respect to what to acquire, what not to acquire. And how much money has to be given to the other parties is decided by the Karta only. All the money received by of HUF is gone to Karta only. And the becoming the part of HUF, Hindu Undivided Family, you don't need to take any membership, any admission. If you just take the birth, if you get the, what is that? If you get birth in that, if you born in that or the family, you will be as a member of HUF. and any person who has come from outside the family to this family. For example, son married that one, what is that, bahu, right? Sas or bahu, bahu. Bahubali. They'll come and they'll do everything. Bahu, no? What is it? Bahu. So she'll not be called as the member of HUF because she is an outsider. And if whenever the daughter of this family marries and goes outside, she is still the member of this HUF only. Unless until they part away with that, she is not the member. Whatever the right she has, it has been taken out. But it is not there now because as per the recent 2010 Supreme Court guidelines, even the daughters also, whether the married or not, they will be having equal share in the property of the parents. That is why they are still the partners, not partners. We call it as co-partners. Co-partners means the persons who have taken the birth other than Karta. Karta is the head of the family. Other persons in the family who has taken that birth is called as co-partners. The persons who are coming into the family, for example, wife, for example, something, the other persons, we call it as non-co-partners. And the dividing of the HUF is entirely at the right of Karta only, but the co-partners can ask to divide the what is that property, but non-co-partners can never ask. That is why wife always go and tell to the husband, husband will part. ಹೇಳ್ತಾರಲ್ಲ ನಿನ್ನಿಂದ ನಮ್ಮ ಮನೆ ಮುರಿದಿದ್ದು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ. That is how it happens. That's it. And the liability of the karta is unlimited. Liability of the karta is unlimited. The co-partner's liability is not unlimited. Here, in case of partnership, minor cannot become the partner, but in case of HUF, even a minor can also become, because the moment you are born, you are not age of 18. You are still 1 day, 2 day, it goes. 18 years ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡೋದು? How many is the maximum number of members for partnership? 50. For HUF? No, how can you limit the family members? It is up to them. See, my grandfather's not this side. My mother's side. I think there are some. My mother's side means my mother's side. There are around some 11 people are there, and they again got married. Then next generation is my mother. Again, next generation is us. If we are still in the joint family, then it will be almost more than 200. So that is why there is no limit on the HUF. But there was two other concepts which was not recently, some 10 years back they introduced for the purpose of maintaining this. Disk and dink. It is an economic concept, not there in your syllabus. It is like because our population is growing in too much, government has started controlling that, but it failed, miserably failed. Nobody asked the government. This means double income, single kid. Two wife and husband both should earn, and they should be having only single kid. Earlier they started with that. Then dink, double income, no kid. Who will listen? Nobody is going to listen. It is failed projects. Politicians, you know, Lalu Prasad Yadav, all those people, they are having some 7-8 people. No, I am talking about children, not wife.
China, Russian, Russia.
I think even Korea also there now.
12 lakhs, 13 lakhs ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಕಿಡ್ಗೆ ಮತ್ತೆ ಥರ್ಡ್ ಕಿಡ್ಗೆ ಗವರ್ನಮೆಂಟ್ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಆಫರ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ ಎಜುಕೇಶನ್ until graduation.
But you can't live there. That is. ಮತ್ತೆ ಈಗ ಯುದ್ಧ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗೆಲ್ಲ ಸತ್ತೋದ್ರೆ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡೋದು? ಮತ್ತೆ ಜನ ಬೇಕು ಯುದ್ಧ ಜನ ಬೇಕಲ್ಲ. ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ಅವೆಲ್ಲ. This is then co-ownership we already discussed. It is then association. That's okay. Come to kinds of partnership. What are the kinds of partnership there? There are mainly four kinds of partnership. One is partnership at will, then partnership for a fixed period, particular partnership and general partnership. What is partnership at will? Okay, we'll come to it later. Partnership for a fixed period. What is partnership for a fixed period? The partnership which is established for the purpose of a specific period for 2 years, 6 months, 1 year, 10 years, something like that. That is what we call it as partnership for a fixed period of time. The moment the time is over, the any for example, three partners are there started for a fixed period of time. Once that period is over, then they can easily one hour all the partners can apply for the dissolution of the firm because the moment 10 years or whatever the duration they fixed it is over, then it is legality of the firm is over. If they continue after the fixed period, for example, there is a partnership firm which is established for 5 years. Now 5 years is over here, and the partnership firm is still continuing. This period, whatever it is being after there after 5 years, we call it as partnership at will because the fixed period is already over here. Now they are carrying on their will now. What is will? Will means there where there is no specific agreements. What period? What business, how many partners, nothing is being specified. It is at will. As per my wish and will, I'll keep on doing the business. Then particular partnership. What is particular partnership? The partnership which is established for the purpose of specific business. And general partnership, there is no restriction on this type of business. Wherever they see that. Best example is not partnership. You can relate that to partnership. This street vendors. There is one person who is in our area, Rajajinagar. Whenever the summer season comes, he brings what is that watermelon. Again, watermelon plus this mango. The next season, that watermelon, this rainy season comes, that is gone. Then one more fruits he brings. Again, one more fruits. Again, one more fruit. Depending on the season, he keeps on changing. That's what we call it as general partnership. It depends on the commodity demand. Partnership at will means there is no fixed period as agreed upon for the purpose of duration of the partnership. There is no fixed period agreed, and there is no provision made for the determination of partnership. What is determination? Termination. We will terminate after 3 years, after 5 years. If it is not met, then it is partnership at will. If it is met, then it is fixed period of time only. Then two conditions are satisfied. It is partnership at will. See, it is the must satisfied. Without satisfaction of these two conditions, it can called as partnership at will. Partnership for a fixed period of time means provisions made by the contract for the duration of the partnership firm. How much duration the partnership firm will be there. Then particular partnership for a single adventure. What is single adventure? Single activity. It is being established. Once the activity is completed, for example, we formed a partnership for the purpose of giving CA foundation classes. 4 faculties. Consider me and Wasit, both the persons who started one partnership firm, and he told that I'll give accounts and mathematics, I'll give economics and law. We completed the batch. Then it is over. Partnership has to come to an end. That is what we call it as a single adventure. Then general partnership. It is like the partners extends only to the particular adventure or undertaking in case of particular partnership, but it is not so in case of general partnership. General partnership is different from limited liability partnership. Okay, LLP they're talking about, that is other than particular partnership is general partnership. What is particular? Single adventure. More than one adventure is general partnership. This is important. Partnership deed. Actually, question on partnership deed is not asked. Question on LLP agreement is asked because the same content will be there even in the LLP also. Marks ಬೇರೆ ಕಡೆ ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದೆ. What is partnership deed? It is a formal agreement. It is a formal agreement between the partners which decides the rights and obligations of the partner, which decides the property of the partnership, which decides what is the sharing of the profits, what is it, which decides the contribution of the capital, which decides how much of the interest which is how much of the profit, everything is decided by this agreement only. If there is nothing there in this agreement, then we will go with the equal basis. If profit sharing ratio is not mentioned, equal share you. Contribution share not mentioned, equal share you. Interest is not mentioned, then there is some 6% interest. Some things are there here. Partnership is a result of an agreement. No particular formality are required for an agreement of the partnership. It may be writing also, it may be verbal also, but it is better to have the partnership deed. If it is better to have in the agreement writing, which containing various terms and conditions as to the relationship of the partners as to the other. It is called as partnership deed. There is one question in the examination which asked, as per Indian law does not make registration of partnership compulsory. What are the disadvantages of non-registration of the partnership form? We have to discuss that. Disadvantage, very few disadvantages. You cannot sue. You cannot go for the court for the purpose of suing the other party. Those things are very discussed. What are the contents of partnership deed? You tell me in general. Don't look at this. Name of the firm, it should be there. Name of the partner. Address of the partnership firm. Liability is always unlimited. Agreement to share the profits. Okay. Commission. Okay. Admission and retirement. Okay. If it is particular partnership, sorry, a fixed period of partnership, then duration has to be there. Then PSR is also in capital contribution ratio should be there. If they have given extra capital like loan, what is the interest rate? Can we expel the partner? Expulsion of a partner should be there. And I think we are on the last part of the unit. Types of partners. What are the types of partners are there? There are two types of partners, right? What is the two types of partners? Remaining partners? There are multiple kinds of partners, but mainly the partnership with respect to the partnership firm, there are two kinds of partnership, mainly for the purpose of partnership firm. One is active partner. Second one is sleeping partner. Who is an active partner? The partner who is active in his day-to-day life is called as active partner, right? The partner who is active in the day-to-day carry out of the business and conduct of the business as per the partnership deed, as per the interest of the partnership, then he will be called as an active partner. The partner who just sleeps on the day and night is called as a sleeping partner. Who does not take care of or who does not take any active part in the business is called as sleeping partner. Whenever the active partner is appointed, it is a duty, whenever he is appointed as well as retired, it is a duty of the partner as well as the partnership firm to give a public notice. If a partner is retired, active partner is retired, and the public notice is not given, then until and unless the public notice is given, the active partner is still held liable for all the activities which has happened after the retirement also. So that is why it is very, very mandatory to give the public notice. But in case of sleeping partner, at appointment and renewal, there is no need of any public notice because they are just sleeping. They don't know how the society is working because they are like Kumbhakarna. 6 months sleeping, 1 more 6 months also again sleeping. 6 plus 6, 12 months sleeping. Then that is why they are sleeping partners. So active partners, whenever consider, for example, a person, there are 5 partners, 3 are active partners, 2 are sleeping partners. One party gave one notice to an active partner. When the active partner received the notice, it is as good as the partnership firm only has received the notice. The other party no need to give the notice to again remaining 2 active and 2 sleeping partners. The moment it is received by active, then it is as good as received by partnership firm only. But if the notice is received by sleeping partner, it is not as good as received by the partnership firm because they are not even coming for the partnership. It is the duty of the other party or any partner, because consider I wanted to retire as an active partner. A, B, C, D, A are there. C wanted to retire. C gave a notice to A that I want to retire. Okay, it is as good as you given to everybody, you can retire immediately. But if you give it to D and A, then it is not considered as given to partnership firm. It has to be given to active partner or all the partners. But there is one thing provision that is that if it is given to the active partner, then it is given to all the partners. That is active or ostensible partner, we call it as that one. Second one is sleeping partner or dormant partner. Then what is that? Nominal partner. What is nominal partner? Who is nominal partner? The party mainly contributes his name, never the money. For example, this brand ambassadors will be there, right? Those people will be bringing only the name, and they'll say take some 20-30% of the share. Here they says nominal partner no need to share the profit, but nobody will give the name just like that. If there is an agreement to share the profit, then they can share the profits. But the person who just lends his name is called as nominal partner. Name partner is a nominal partner. Best example is Mahendra Singh Dhoni. He is ambassadors of many company. What does brand ambassador will do is, you have you seen this Colgate advertisement? Nimma toothpaste and uppi there. Every majority of the brand ambassadors will take the what is that remuneration. For example, maybe 10 crore, maybe 20 crore. Even this Asia also, he has done this Coca-Cola ad. He's taken some maybe some 15-20 crore rupees of remuneration. But what Mahendra Singh Dhoni is doing, he is giving brand ambassador for big company also, some startup company also. In startup company, is not taking any remuneration. He's taking percentage of the company. You give me 20%, I'll be your brand ambassador. Because he's seeing the future growth. So it is better. Why? Okay. Why do I collect the fees? Why do I collect the remuneration? Partner by holding company. That's it. Unit number 1. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಎಚ್ಚರ ಇರಬೇಕಂತ ಹೇಳೋದು. ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ಕೊಡ್ತೇನಲ್ಲ, ಅಲ್ಲ ನಂದಿನ ಇದೆ, ಮಜ್ಜಿಗೆ ಕೊಡ್ತವಾ? ನಿನ್ನೆ ನೀವು ಕುಡಿದ್ರಲ್ಲ ಮಜ್ಜಿಗೆ, ಮೊನ್ನೆ ಕುಡಿದ್ರ? Then unit number 2, then unit number 3, then we'll take a beautiful break. Unit number 3 is small only. ಇಲ್ಲಪ್ಪ, ಯಾಕೆ ನಿನ್ನೆ ಒಂದಷ್ಟೇನೋ ಥ್ರೋಟ್ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಆಗತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಬಿಟ್ಟೆ. ಇಲ್ಲ, ನಂಗೆ ಹಂಗೇನೋ ಥ್ರೋಟ್ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಆದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು ಅರ್ಧ ಗಂಟೆ ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ಕೊಡ್ತೇನೆ, ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಅಂತ ಬಿಡಲ್ಲ. ನಾನು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟೆಂಡ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ನಂದೇನು ಟೈಮ್ ಹಾಳಾಗಲ್ಲ, ನಿಮ್ದೇ ಟೈಮ್ ಹಾಳಾಗೋದು ಇದ್ರಾಗ. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಒನ್ ಡೇ ಮತ್ತೆ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟೆಂಡ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಒನ್ ಡೇ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಗಾನ್ ಅಗೇನ್. The days gone are gone. The days won't come back. Then unit number 2, the relations of partners. Relation does not mean their kaka, their auntie. They are not the relatives. They are not talking about their relations. The relations means what is the relationship between the partners and other partner, and partner and the partnership form. There are some duties. What are the duties of the partners? They have to act 3 things. They have to act according to 3 things. One is business of the firm should be carried to the greatest common advantages. What is greatest common advantage? See, advantage may be for a single person also, advantage can be for all the persons also. If I sell something for 100 rupees and I account it as 80 rupees in the books of accounts, it is for advantage only for me. That is single common advantage. It is not a common advantage, but you are trying to do the advantage for everybody. That means you should not do some fraud. That's what they are telling, common advantage. And they should render to any partner or their legal representative the full information of all the things affecting the firm, and everybody must act in the utmost good faith in the dealings of the partnership firm. 3 things. One is act according to the greatest common advantage, render the complete information, and act according to the utmost good faith, full maximum good faith that is possible. Then duty to indemnify for loss caused by fraud. What is the duty to indemnify? There are 2 things here. One is duty to indemnify. Second one is duty to indemnify for the loss caused by the fraud. One partner does something which is within the authority only, and some loss has occurred. Then it is a duty of all the partners to indemnify the partnership firm, because like it is within the authority, some loss has occurred. But if it is acted by one party who is outside the authority, then it is the duty of him, the party was acted, to indemnify the other partners in the partnership. Because for all the acts of one partner, the other partners are also liable. Why should they pay for his fraud? That is why it is the duty of him to reimburse all the partners. Then determination of rights and duties of partners by contract between the partners. If there is any contract, express contract, then the rights and duties will be decided based on that express contract. If there is no express contract, then everybody is having all the rights and all the duties with respect to the partnership form. You can do this also, you can do this also. Everything can be done by every partner. Agreement in restraint of trade. You remember that agreement restraint of trade we discussed in Contract Act? Whenever there is a sale of goodwill and the restriction is for limited period and limited geographical country, that is possible. The same thing is even applicable. Section 27 of the Contract Act, whatever it is there, the same thing is applicable for here also. ನೋಡು ಒಂದು ನಿಮಿಷ ಎಷ್ಟು ಜನ ಇಲ್ಲ ಇಲ್ಲ ಬಿಡು ಆಫ್ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಆಫ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಶೀಸ್ ತುದಿಗಾಲ ಮೇಲೆ ನಿಂತಾಳೆ ಆಫ್ ಮಾಡಾಕ ಆಫ್ ಮಾಡಿ then there are some conduct of business. What is this conduct of business? Unless there is an agreement or contract between the partners, every partner has the right to take part in the conduct of business, and every partner is bound to attend diligently his duties or conduct of the business. If there is an agreement, respective duties, respective partners. If there is no agreement, then it is up to them. Subject to the contract between the partners, they are given initially. That's right. And every partner has the right to access the books of account and inspect the copy of the books of the firm. As well as if the partner is already died, then the legal representative have the right to inspect the books of accounts. Then right to take part in the conduct of the business. What is this right to take part in the conduct of business? Every partner has a right to take part in the conduct of business unless in the contract they agreed that they are not becoming the part of this specific business. Your business is separate. Yours is purchase business, mine is sales business, yours is accounts business, finance business, something. If it is divided, then their respected party responsible for their respective businesses. But here it is there. Every partner has to have the access to inspect the copy of the books of the firm. You can go and inspect, but you cannot enter into that. You do this way, you do this way. No, you can't. You can't entertain these things. They say the powers of the partners are coextensive. What is coextensive? To the same extent, whatever the powers of this partner is there, the same extent this power is there, unless there is a contrary. The above mentioned provisions will be applicable only if there is no contract to the contrary between the partners. If there is an agreement, as per the agreement, no, every partner will become the party. Then right to be consulted. What do you mean by right to be consulted? What is this? Hmm? It is like a democracy.
So if they want to make any changes, they should ask the consent of all the partners.
It is not consent. Consult. Consult means whenever you have a problem, you can ask the other partner also. Whenever you want to know how to conduct the business, whenever you have a doubt, then you can be like, see, just because I am in charge for purchase, you are in charge for sales, he is in charge for finances, it does not mean that we are acting independently. We are acting for the greatest common advantage only. If I have any doubt, I can come to you. If you have any doubt, you can go to him. You can come to me. It is like right to be consulted. Even if this matter is not being resolved among the partners, then we can go and consult the external party also for the purpose of common advantage of the partnership. Then every party has the right to access the books of accounts. And if the partner is not there, the legal heirs or representatives are duly authorized agents can right to access and to inspect the copy of the books of the firm. If the partners are there, partners. If the partners are not there, then their legal representative. This is important. Mutual rights and liabilities. See, everywhere the first word is subject to the contract between the partners. That means whenever there is a contract between the partners, you pay utmost importance to the contract only. Don't come here. If there is no contract to what is your liability, what is your rights, then come here. That is what they are telling. Subject to the contract between the partners. A partner is not entitled to receive the remuneration for taking part in the conduct of business. Why? Remuneration is like a salary. When you are taking the entire profit which is being shared, then why do you want to take the salary? That is why it is. But if it's mentioned in the agreement for the purpose of conduct of business, you will get a salary this much. Okay, that is okay. You can do it. If there is no agreement, no salary. Then partners are entitled to share equally in the profits earned and shall contribute equally to the losses sustained by the firm. See, if there is no agreement like 3 is to 2 is to 1, go by that. If not, come equally. Where the partner is entitled to interest on capital subscribed by him, such interest shall be payable only out of the profits. If the partnership is in the losses, then no interest. But if there is an agreement whether it is a profit or loss, the interest has to be paid, then you pay attention to that thing. Then a partner making for the purpose of business any payment or advance beyond the amount of capital. It is like the as per 3 is to 2 is to 1, I have to contribute 3 lakh, you have to contribute 2 lakh, you have to contribute 1 lakh. But instead of 3, I contributed 6 lakh. I contributed extra amount. For that extra amount, I am definitely what is that, having the right to get the interest. How much interest? If nothing is mentioned, then it is 6%. That thing. Then firm shall indemnify a partner in respect of the payments made and liabilities incurred by him in the ordinary or proper conduct of the business. Whatever the expenses incurred by a partner, the partnership firm has to be given reimburse that money to the partner. In doing such act in an emergency for the purpose of protecting the firm from the losses, that expenses also should be reimbursed by the partnership firm. And if because of the negligence of any partner, if the partnership firm incurs any losses, then it shall be the duty of the partner to indemnify the partnership firm. Partnership firm also should indemnify the partner. Partner should also indemnify for the partnership firm. Right to remuneration. How much remuneration is it? Is it compulsory? Is every partner compulsory entitled to remuneration? Unless it is agreed by the partnership deed, it is not. They are not entitled for remuneration. If it is agreed by the partnership firm, they're entitled for a remuneration. They're entitled for remuneration. How much? I think I have written it. No. If it is, say, partnership act says, it is not partnership act, it is as per income tax act I'm talking now. Partnership act says there is no remuneration for them. If they are taking remuneration, they can take maximum of this remuneration. It is given by income tax act. See, why this concept of has come? Partnership firm, whatever the profits it earns, it is taxable at the rate of 30% flat. If it earns a profit of 100, 30 rupees is a tax that has to be paid to the government. But if this partnership firm pays money by way of salary to the partners, then it is the income of partners. Then partners' income is taxable under the slab rate. What is slab rate? First, a few income is 5%, then 10%, then 15%, then 20%, then 25%, then 30%, and double. It is there. To save this amount of tax, instead of sharing the profits, because if you want to share the profit, you have to first pay the tax by partnership firm, then only you are supposed to share the profits. But salary means before the profit only the salary will come. So that government income tax told maximum amount of salary a partner can take is if the partnership firm has a profit of up to 3 lakh rupees, then they can take a total of 90% of the profit as remuneration. Any profit in excess of more than 3 lakh, then you can take a maximum of 60% of the profits as salary. For example, partnership firm has 5 lakh rupees as profit. I'll divide it into two parts. One is 3 lakh, one is 2 lakh. 3 lakh multiplied by 90%, 2.7 lakh. 2 lakh multiplied by 60%, 1.2 lakh. Totally 3.9 lakh rupees can be taken as a total salary by the partners. If the profit is only 2 lakh, then 2 lakh into 90%, 1.8 lakhs can be taken as a profit. Can be taken as a salary, remuneration of the partners. Not given in your material, but I'm just giving for your extra knowledge. See, there are two things. No partner is entitled to receive any remuneration in addition to the share of profits of the firm for the purpose of taking part in the business, unless there is an agreement, unless there is a contract. But when there is a contract, they can take. ಬಂದ್ ಬಂದಾಗಲಿ ಚಾಲು ಮಾಡಿದೆ ಪೇಜ್ ನಂಬರ್ 174 ಕಾಣಕತ್ತೈತಿಲ್ಲ. ನಾನು ಕೇಳಿ ಕೇಳ್ದೆ ಇದ್ದು ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಐತಲ್ಲ, ಬಿಚ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕಲ್ಲ. ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಸೇರಿ ಆಮೇಲೆ 50 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಕೊಡ್ರಿ. ಶೀಸ್ ಇನ್ ಯುವರ್ ಸರ್ವಿಸಸ್, ಸ್ವಿಚಿಂಗ್ ಆನ್ ದ ಫ್ಯಾನ್, ಸ್ವಿಚಿಂಗ್ ಆನ್ ದ ಫ್ಯಾನ್. ಈಗ ಓಡ್ ಬಂದನಲ್ಲ, ಸೊ ಅದೊಂದು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಇದಾಗುತ್ತೆ. So if there is a contract, remuneration can be given, or if there is a continued usage of the firm. Contract is not there, but firm has keep on giving the salary from last 10 years. There is a usage tradition of the firm. Then also salary can be taken by the partners. Then right to share the profits. Yes, it is every partner's right to share the profits only. How? If nothing is there, it is equal profit sharing. Then interest on capital. Is it mandatory to give interest on capital? No. If there is an agreement, express agreement, we call it as partnership deed, then interest is given. If not, if there is no agreement, but there is a trade custom or to that effect, that means continuously that custom is there in the partnership form to give the interest on capital, then also that can also be there. Or there is a statutory provision which entitles him to such interest. In partnership act it is not there, but in some other act it is mandating the partnership firm to give the interest on capital, then also you can take. Under three situations you can get the interest. One is there is an express agreement, or trade customs are there, or statutory provisions is there. Under these three situations you can get the interest on, which is deemed as belonging to the firm in the absence of any agreement between the partners showing contrary intention is comprising the following items. What do you mean by the property? Property means mainly these three things. If in the agreement you have specified something else also as property, then that will also be as a property. But if nothing is there, these three things are property. Property means asset of the partnership firm. What is that property? One is all the property rights and interest which partner may have bought into the common stock as their contribution to the common business. That means whenever they got admitted, they're bringing some capital contribution, that is the property of the partnership firm. Then all the property rights, interest acquired by them for the firm in the course of the business of the firm. That means whatever the profit that has been earned and not been distributed to the partners, that is also property of the partnership firm, along with whatever the goodwill which is generated in the course of business. All the three things are called as property of the partnership firm. It can be also be asked for 4 marks question. Partnership property. It is a capital contribution initially bought by the partners, capital profit which is retained in the partnership firm in the course of business, then goodwill generated in the partnership firm. What is goodwill? I don't want to read all these things. It is like intangible asset. The definition they'll go. You can go through that later. What is the property of the partner? Whatever his personal property is there, that is not just because he is a partner, his entire personal property is not the property of a partnership firm. And just because, for example, I think I have given an example. You remember that scooty example? When I conducted my regular class, I was telling like, there is water is there. Water has to be bought by scooty. Sometimes partnership did one day partnership this considered is a firm, success sales firm. Then the scooty went for servicing. The scooty was not there, but water has to be bought. Because I have a scooty, I gave my scooty to bring the water. Just because I use it for only one purpose of the firm, it does not mean that it becomes the partnership property. Or sometimes I did not bring my scooty. I want to take my girlfriend outside. Then I took the scooty of firm for one day. Just because I use it for my personal purpose, it does not become my personal property. That's what they're telling here. Then application of the property of the firm. How you can apply the property of the firm? You should apply the property of the firm only for the purpose of partnership business, not for any personal businesses. Personal profits earned by the partners. partner and the personal profit. What do you mean by personal profit? It is like one partnership firm is there in which A, B, C, all the three are partners. Now there is one partnership firm, one is there in which A and D are partners. Whatever the goods required for partnership firm 2, it is being purchased from partnership firm 1 only at a profit. That means here A is making the profit here because A is also partner here, A is also partner here. Can he make a profit? Yes, provided he disclosed that he is also partner in that partnership firm. Secret profits are not allowed, but profits are allowed. What is secret profits? Without intimating to the partnership firm, if we try to make any profit, for example, 100 rupees, this PF1 is selling it to PF2, but actual cost for PF1 is only 80 rupees. That means 20 rupees profit is there. If PF1 says my cost is 80, I wanted to sell at 100. If you want to buy, you can buy. Then if PF2 says okay, then you can make that 20 rupees profit. There is no problem in that. Or if he derives any profits from the transactions of the firm or from the use of the property or business connection of the firm or of the firm's name, then that has to be contributed and paid it to the firm only. For example, we have a car partnership firm. Uh, we have two branches. One is here, one is in Malaysia. The driver, he came for dropping me. He dropped me in Malaysia. But while coming, he thought why the driver is also one more faculty consider. He thought why should I come back unnecessarily? I'll pick some 3-4 passengers and I'll drop it in the Malaysia only. Sorry, Basangudi. From Malaysia, he bought some 3-4 passengers. Consider he collected some 300 rupees. That 300 rupees is generated by using the partnership firm's property because car is belonging to the partnership firm. This classes, then the 300 has to be accounted as a partnership profit. It is not the personal profit. And whenever there is a change in the partnership firm, what are the rights of and liabilities of the partners are there? It is same as whatever there before. The same rights and liability will continue after also, unless there is an agreement. After a change in the firm, whenever there is a change in the firm, it is same as they were immediately before the change. Whatever rights are there, the same rights. Whatever the liability are there, the same liability. After the expiry of the term for the firm, fixed period partnership is there, it is over, they continue to do the business. Then it becomes partnership at will. Same, then also the remains the same as they were before the expiry. Same things. Where addition undertaking carried out. What is addition undertaking? That means they added one more classes, they added one more branch, something as added. In that also same. Same as those in respect of the original adventure undertakings. Unless there is a contract, all the things are same. Hear me. Then relation of partners to third parties, how they related? He is my mama, my atte, my katte. How many of you like your attes? Atte means dad's sister. Does she have the daughter? No, I'm asking. Two daughters. That's why you don't like. See, it is like earlier there was a concept. Earlier means some 15, 20 years back, at least 10 years back. Now this is not there. The trend has changed. Whenever like you propose to a girl, like in tier 2, tier 3 cities, not tier 1 like metro cities, if you ask her, what is that? Will you marry me? Then they'll ask, you go and talk to my father. ನಮ್ಮಪ್ಪ ಒಪ್ಕೊಂಡು ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ. So it is better opportunity to what is that? Pataising atte rather than pataising atte pataಯಿಸ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಮಗಳು easily ಸಿಗ್ಬಿಡ್ತಾರೆ. It is not there now. It is totally changed. It is like totally against the parents. Parents also changed. Like what is that? ಕಾಲಾಯ ತಸ್ಮಯ ನಮ್ಮ ಕಾಲ ಹೆಂಗ್ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಗ್ತದಲ್ಲ ಹಂಗೆ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಹಾಕೊಂತಾನೆ ಇರ್ಬೇಕಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಸೊ ನೋಡ್ರಿ, ಅತ್ತೆ ಇರೋರು ಎಲ್ಲರೂ, ನಂಗೂ ಅತ್ತೆ ಇದ್ದಾಳೆ, ಅತ್ತೆಗೆ ಇಬ್ರು ಮಕ್ಕಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಹೆಣ್ಮಕ್ಳು. ನಂಗೆ ಅವ್ರು ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ಸೊ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಂಗೆ ಪಟಾಯಿಸಾಗತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. ಫೋನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಫೋನ್ ಆಯ್ತಲ್ಲ. ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಐದರ್ ದ ವೇ. ನಮ್ಮ ಅತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಟೋಟಲಿ 8 ಬ್ರದರ್ಸ್. ಮೈ ಡ್ಯಾಡ್ಸ್ ಯಂಗರ್ ಬ್ರದರ್, ಅಗೇನ್ ನಮ್ಮ ಡ್ಯಾಡಿ 3 ಜನ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ನಾವು 3 ಜನ ಅಣ್ಣ ತಮ್ಮರು, ನಮ್ಮ ಚಿಕ್ಕಪ್ಪಗ ಇಬ್ರು, ಇನ್ನೊಬ್ಬ ಚಿಕ್ಕಪ್ಪಗ 3 ಜನ. ಸೊ ಟೋಟಲಿ 8 ಮೇಲ್ಸ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ, 8 ಗಂಡು ಮಕ್ಕಳೇ ನಾವು. ಬಟ್ ಏನಿದೆ ಅಲ್ಲ, ನಮ್ಮ ಅತ್ತೆಗೆ ಏನ್ ಮಕ್ಳಿದಾರಲ್ಲ, ಅವರು ಮ್ಯಾಕ್ಸಿಮಮ್ ನಂದು ಇಲ್ಲ ನನ್ನ ತಮ್ಮ ಇಬ್ಬರಿಗೆ ಕೊಡ್ಬೋದು. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಏಜ್ ಗ್ಯಾಪ್ ಬಹಳ, ಮತ್ತೆ ಸಣ್ಣವ್ರು ಇದಾರೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಜನ. ಸೊ ದಟ್ಸ್ ವೈ ಶಿ ಇಸ್ ಟ್ರೈಂಗ್ ಅಂಡ್ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಅವಾಯ್ಡ್. ಎವ್ರಿಬಡಿ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಅ ಸ್ಟ್ರಾಟಜಿ ಟು ಪ್ಲೇ. ಇಂಡಿಯಾ ಹಂಗ್ ಪ್ಲೇ ಆದಾಗ ಇಂಗ್ಲೆಂಡ್ ನಂತರ ಪ್ಲೇ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ, ಇಂಗ್ಲೆಂಡ್ ಪ್ಲೇ ಆದಾಗ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ ಪ್ಲೇ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಇಲ್ಲ, ಮೊದಲೇ ಇತ್ತು, ಬಟ್ ಈಗೆಲ್ಲ ಬಹಳ ಯಥೇಚ್ಛವಾಗಿದೆ. See, there are some other incidents. That's why I am avoiding that. ನಮ್ಮ ಮಮ್ಮಿಗೆ ಒಂದ್ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ರೆಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿಲ್ಲ ಮೊದಲೆಲ್ಲ, ಒಂಥರ ನೋಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಜಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಫ್ಯಾಮಿಲಿ ಇದ್ದಾಗೆಲ್ಲ. Like to be one incident, when we are in the joint family, ನಾನು ಮೇ ಬಿ ಒಂದು 3 years ಇದ್ದೇನು, ನಮ್ಮ ತಮ್ಮ ಹುಟ್ಟಿದಾಗ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್. ಅವ್ನು ಮೇ ಬಿ 1 year ಇದ್ದಲ್ಲ, ಅವಾಗ ಎದೆ ಹಾಲು ಕೊಡ್ಬೇಕಾದಾಗ ಎದೆ ಹಾಲು ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ. ನಮ್ಮ ಮನೇಲಿ ಎಮ್ಮೆ ಇದೆ, ಬಫೆಲೋಸ್. ಸೊ ನಮ್ಮ ಆಳು ಕರ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಂದು ಒಳಗಡೆ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಹೋದ, ಅದನ್ನ ಕಟ್ಟಾಕ್ಬೇಕಾಗಿತ್ತ. ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಖಾಲಿ ಕುಂತಾರ. ನಮ್ಮ ಚಿಕ್ಕಪ್ಪ ಮತ್ತೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಅತ್ತೆ ಇದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ, ಅವ್ರು ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು ಅವು ಎಮ್ಮೆ ಕಟ್ಟಾಕ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತೇಳಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಮಮ್ಮಿಗೆ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು. ನಮ್ಮ ಮಮ್ಮಿ ಅಂದ್ರು ಹಾಲು ಕೊಡಕತ್ತೀನಿ, ಹಾಲು ಉಣ್ಸಕತ್ತೀನಿ, ಹಾಲು ಉಣ್ಸಿದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಕಟ್ಟಾಕ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂತೇಳಿ. ಇರ್ಲಿ ತಗೋ, ಅವ್ನ ಸೈಡ್ ಇಟ್ಟು ಅವನ್ ಸಾಯಂಗಿಲ್ಲ ಅಲ್ಲಿವರೆಗೂ ಕಟ್ಟಾಕೋರ್ಗು ಅಂತೇಳಿ. ಅಂಡ್ ಸಮ್ ಕ್ವಾರಲ್ಸ್ ಹಸ್ ಹ್ಯಾಪೆಂಡ್. ಕಲ್ ತಗೊಂಬಂದಿದೆ ಎತ್ತಾಕ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ, ಏನೋ ಒಂದೇನೋ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತೇಳಿ. ಸೊ how can we forget? See, my mother is the greatest mother. She forgot everything, forgave also everybody. But I am not that son, not me. No person will go like that. ತಂದೆಗಾದ್ರಂತೂ ಟು ಹೆವಿ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಇರ್ತೈತೆ, ತಾಯಿ ಒಂದಷ್ಟು ಇರ್ತೈತೆ, ಯಾವಾಗ್ಲೂ ಇರ್ತೈತೆ. ಇಫ್ ಸಮಥಿಂಗ್ ಹ್ಯಾಪನ್ಸ್ ಟು ಲೈಕ್ ಡ್ಯಾಡ್ಸ್, ದೆನ್ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಅಲ್ಟಿಮೇಟ್. ಅಪೋಸಿಟ್ ಯಾರಾದ್ರೆ ಯಾರು ನೋಡೋದೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲರ ಮಕ್ಕಳು ಹಂಗೆ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ, ಆಸ್ ಫಾರ್ ಆಸ್ ಐ ಕನ್ಸರ್ನ್. I don't know about the daughters. Daughters like indoor game players, outdoor indoor players ಇವರೆಲ್ಲ. I know few people who are fighting in the outside also. ಯಾರಾದ್ರೂ ಗಂಡು ಮಕ್ಕಳು ಬಂದ್ರು ಅವ್ರ ಮನೇಲಿ ಏನಾದ್ರು ಆತಂದ್ರೆ ಇಮಿಡಿಯೇಟ್ಲಿ ಆಗಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ಬಟ್ ನಾಟ್ ದಟ್ ಡಿಸ್ಕ್ರಿಮಿನೇಷನ್, ಬಟ್ ಸೊಸೈಟಿ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಡೆವಲಪ್ಡ್ ದಟ್. ಹೆಣ್ಮಕ್ಳಿಗೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಏನದ, ದೇ ಆರ್ ದ ವೀಕರ್ ಸೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಸೊಸೈಟಿ, ದೇ ಡೋಂಟ್ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಇಟ್ ಆಸ್ ದಟ್ ಥಿಂಗ್. ಬಟ್ ಅವರಷ್ಟು ಹಂಗೆ ಯಾರು ಇಲ್ಲ, ನನ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿರೋ ಹಾಗೆ. So we do so many physical activities, things, but mentally nobody can match the, what is it, women, girls, whatever you call it as. Akshay. ಇಲ್ಲ, ನೀವು ನೋಡ್ಬೇಕಾರೆ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮಮ್ಮಿಗೆ, ನಾವೇನಾದ್ರೂ ಒಂದು ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಕೆಲಸ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ಮನೇಲಿ, ಅದನ್ನ ಮಾಡೇನಿ ಈ ಕೆಲಸ ಇವಂಗೆ ಹೇಳ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ನಮ್ಮ ತಮ್ಮಿಗೆ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಮನೇಲಿ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ, ಇಲ್ಲ ನಮ್ಮ ತಂಗಿಗೆ ಹೇಳಿ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಬಟ್ ನಮಗೆ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಥಿಂಕ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ಇಟ್, ಮಾರ್ನಿಂಗ್ ಎದ್ದಾಗಿಂದ್ರು ಸಂಜೆವರೆಗೂ ಶಿ ನೆವರ್ ಕಂಪ್ಲೇಂಟ್. ನಾ ಏನ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಾ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರು, ಈಗ ಅಡಿಗೆ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತಾರ, ಅಡಿಗೆ ನಂಗೆ ಲೈಕ್ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ, ನಂಗೆ ಇದು ಬೇಡ ಬೇರೆ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಡ್ತಾಳ ಮಮ್ಮಿ. ಅಲ್ಲ, ಒಂದೊಂದ್ಸರಿ ಹೊಡ್ಸ್ಕೊಂಡಿನಿ ಭಾಳ ಸರಿ, ಮಾಡಿ ತಿಂದೇ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಬೇರೆ ಕೆಲಸ ಇದ್ದಾಗ. ಬಟ್ ಖಾಲಿ ಇದ್ದಂತ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಮೈ ಫಾದರ್ ಇಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಲೈಕ್ ದೇವ್, ಬಟ್ ಮಮ್ಮಿ ಕಡೆ ಕನೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇಲ್ಲ ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ. ಟು ಸರ್ಟನ್ ಏಜ್, ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಟಿಲ್ ಯು ಆರ್ 18 ಲೈಕ್ ದಟ್, the first friend is mother. ನಿಮ್ ತಂದೆ ಕಡೆ ಏನ್ ಬೇಕಿದ್ರು ಈ ರೂಟಿಂದ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕು, ಬೇರೆ ರೂಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲ ನಿಮ್ ಕಡೆ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಆಫ್ಟರ್ 18 ಆಮೇಲೆ ವೆನ್ ಯು ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಟಾಕಿಂಗ್ ದ ಮೆಚುರಿಟಿ ಟಾಕ್ಸ್, ದೆನ್ ಅಗೇನ್ ದಿಸ್ ರೂಟ್. ಮದರ್ ಬಂದ್ರೆ ನಿಂಗೇನ್ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗಲಿ ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಸುಮ್ ಕೊಡ್ಸೋದು. ದಿಸ್ ಹ್ಯಾಪನ್ಸ್. ಐ ಯೂಸ್ ಟು ಡೂ ಇಟ್, ನೌ ಐ ಲಿಸನ್ಸ್. ನಂಗೆ ಓಕೆ, ನಾ ಯಾವಾಗ ಬಿಫೋರ್ 5-6 years ಐ ಯೂಸ್ ಟು ಲೈಕ್, ನಾನು CA ಮಾಡಕತ್ತ ನಂಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಗೊತ್ತೈತೆ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಆ ಇದ್ರೊಳಗಿದ್ದೆ. ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಮೈ ಪೇರೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ನಾಟ್ ಸೊ ಎಜುಕೇಟೆಡ್. ನಮ್ಮ ಡ್ಯಾಡಿ ಹೇಳೋದು ಕೇಳ್ತಿದ್ದೆ ನಾನು, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೀರಿಯನ್ಸ್ ಆಲ್ವೇಸ್ ಕೌಂಟ್ಸ್. ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪರ್ಟೈಸ್ ಎಷ್ಟಿದ್ರು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೀರಿಯನ್ಸ್ ಕೌಂಟ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ನಮ್ಮ ಮಮ್ಮಿ ಬಂದಂದ್ರೆ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮನೆಗೆ ಇರ್ತೀನಿ, ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗ್ತಿತ್ತು ಅವಾಗ ಸುಮ್ ಕುಂದ್ರ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ. ನೋ ನೀವೇನ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಹೇಳ್ರಿ, ಆಮೇಲೆ ನಂದು ಹೇಳ್ತೇನೆ. ಸೊ ಅವ್ರಿಗೂ ಒಂದಷ್ಟು ಖುಷಿ ಇರ್ತೈತೆ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರ ಅಂತೇಳಿ. ನಾವೇನೋ CA ಆಗಿವಿ CM ಆಗಿವಿ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಇದು ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ದೇ ಆರ್ ನಾಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಪಿ. ನಾವ್ ಎಷ್ಟು ದೊಡ್ಡ ದುಡ್ಡು ಕೊಡ್ತೀವಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ಬಂಗ್ಲೆ ಕೊಡ್ತೀವಿ ಅನ್ನೋದಲ್ಲ. ಹೌ ವಿ ಮೇಂಟೈನ್ ದಟ್ ರಿಲೇಶನ್ಶಿಪ್ ಇಸ್ ಆಲ್ವೇಸ್ ಮ್ಯಾಟರ್ಸ್ ಟು ದೆಮ್. It is like partnership. For all the activity of the parents, the children are unlimitedly liable and vice versa. ಹ್ಮ್ ಏನಾಯ್ತು ಅಕ್ಷಯ್? ಹೇಳ ಹೌ ಟು ಕನ್ವಿನ್ಸ್ ಯುವರ್ ಪೇರೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಫಾರ್ ಯುವರ್
Double double engine. Double engine wheels around.
I don't know the double engine and all.
ಡಬಲ್ ಇಂಜಿನ್ ಅಲ್ಲ ಸರ್, ಫ್ರಂಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇಂಜಿನ್ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇಂಜಿನ್.
It's okay. It's okay. We'll continue the classes. See that I suggest you never what is that? Look down on your parents just because you're CA or you're like you even you want some 100 CR, 200 CR. No, it is like this thing in front of them. ನೀವು ಅವ್ರು ಹೇಳಿದ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಂತಲ್ಲ, ಅಟ್ಲೀಸ್ಟ್ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ನೀವು ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ಲೇಟರ್ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಏನ್ ಬೇಕು ನಾನು ಅದನ್ನೇ ಮಾಡ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಸಿ ದೇ ಗಿವ್ ಸಮ್ ಸಜೆಷನ್ಸ್ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಟು ಔಟ್ಡೇಟೆಡ್ ಆರ್ ಲೈಕ್ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಎಮೋಷನಲ್. ವಿ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಡೂ ಬಿಸಿನೆಸ್ ಲೈಕ್ ದಟ್. ಈ ಪಾಪ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಹಂಗ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಡ, ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಭಾಳ ಕಷ್ಟ ಇದೆ, ಹಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡು. ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಹೆಂಗ್ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಹಂಗಾದಾಗ? ಸೊ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಡಿಫರೆಂಟ್ ಅಂಡ್ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಡಿಫರೆಂಟ್. ನಾ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಡ್ತೇನೆ, ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಏನ್ ಚಾರಿಟಿ ಮಾಡೋದೈತಲ್ಲ, ನಮ್ಮ ಮನೇಲಿ ಹಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ನಮ್ಮ ಪಪ್ಪ ಲೈಕ್ ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದಟ್ ದಾನವೀರ ಶೂರಕಣ ಅಂತಾರಲ್ಲ, ಯಾರು ಏನ್ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರು ಲೈಕ್ ನಮ್ಮ ಪಪ್ಪ ಹೊಲಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋದಾಗ ಯಾರಾದ್ರೂ ಕೂಲಿ ಆಳು ಲೇಬರ್ ಊಟ ತಂದಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಪಪ್ಪಂದ ಬಾಕ್ಸ್ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಕೊಟ್ಟು ನಮ್ಮ ಪಪ್ಪ ಸಾಯಂಕಾಲವರೆಗೂ ಉಪವಾಸದ ಮನೆಗೆ ಬಂದು ಊಟ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದ. ನಮ್ಮ ಪಪ್ಪ ಹೊರಗಡೆ ಊಟ ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ, ಚಾ ಬಹಳ ರೇರ್. ಸೊ ಈಸ್ ಲೈಕ್ ದಟ್. ಈ ನೆವರ್ ಥಿಂಕ್ಸ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ಹಿಮ್. ಈಗ ಯಾರಾದ್ರೂ ಬಂದು ಗೌಡ್ರ ಹಿಂಗೈತೆ ಅಂದಾಗ, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಮ್ದೊಂದು ಹಿಂಗ್ ಫೈಲ್ ಹಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡ್ದೈತೆ ಅಂದಾಗ, ನಮ್ಮ ಮಗ ಮಾಡ್ತಾನ, ಹಿಂಗ್ ಹೇಳ್ಬೇಡ್ರಿ ಅಂತ ಯಾವತ್ತೂ ಹೇಳ್ತೇನೆ. ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಏನಾರ ಇತ್ತಂದ್ರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಮಗನ್ ನಂಬರ್ ಕೊಡ್ತೀನಿ ಮಾತಾಡ್ರಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ರಿ, ಹಿಂಗ್ ಹೇಳ್ರಿ. ಇನ್ನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ ಕೊಡ್ರಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಮಗನ್ ವಾಟ್ಸ್ಆಪ್ ನಂಬರ್ ತಗೋ ಕಳ್ಸ. ನೆವರ್ ಡೂ ದಿಸ್ ಥಿಂಗ್. ಸಿ ನಾ ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಲ್ಲ, ಬಟ್ ಸಿ ಐ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಡೂ ಫ್ರೀ ಆಲ್ಸೋ, ಬಟ್ ವಿತೌಟ್ ಡಾಕ್ಯುಮೆಂಟೇಶನ್. ಇಫ್ ಐ ಡೂ ಇಟ್ ಅಗೇನ್ ಸೈನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ ನಂಗೆ ಬಂದು ಕೂತ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ನಾನು ಹೇಳ್ತೇನೆ, ಸೈನ್ ಈಸ್ ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಪ್ರೀಶಿಯಸ್ ದೆನ್ ದ ಪ್ರೈಮ್ ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟರ್ ಸೈನ್. ಡೋಂಟ್ do these things. Recently I got one file but I rejected it. He was ready to pay almost like 2.5 lakhs for one sign. I understood what is the risk, not by looking the file, just by listening to his conversation. Sir, ನೀವು ಏನು ಮಾಡೋದಿಲ್ಲ ಸರ್, ನೀವು ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಒಂದು ಸೈನ್ ಹಾಕ್ಬೇಕಷ್ಟೇ. Yes sir. There are so many people. ಸಿ ಆಗೋರ್ಗಿಂತ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗೋದೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಸಿ ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಇವೆಲ್ಲ ಕಾಂಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ಲಿಂಕ್ ಬರ್ತಾವ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ, ಬಟ್ they start coming. Then next is partner to be an agent of the firm. What is partner to be agent of the firm? Every partner is an agent of the firm, and every partner is an agent and principal of the other partners also. This is important, very very important. Employed authority of a partner as an agent of the firm. See, as an agent of the firm, a partner can do all the activities. He can buy, he can sell, he can mortgage, he can do so many things, but he can never do these following activities unless an express authority is given to him. What is this implied authority? Even though it is not mentioned in the partnership deed, even though it is not mentioned in any law, anything, then you can do selling the goods, buying the goods, that is what, or giving the services, renting the services, that can be done. There is no doubt about it, there is no restrictions on that. But just because you have some implied authority, it does not mean that you should be liable, you should be able to do these things. You can do only these things with an express consent or express authority. Without that, you can never touch these things. What are those things? Implied authority of a partner does not empower him to these things. This 6 or 7 marks question will come. You have to write only these things. How many points? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Go through that. ಹೋದ್ರು ಟೈಮ್ ಪಾಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಡ್ರಿ. All the 8 points. If you have any doubt with respect to any point, to ask. Yes. First point. Submit a dispute relating to the business of the firm to arbitration. See, arbitration means it is out of the court settlement. Out of the court settlement. No, just state. Even if they ask for elaboration, you can just add masala. No partner is entitled to submit any dispute to arbitration. That is what your explanation. What you can write there.
ಅದೇ technique ಏನೋ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ.
ಹಾ, ಒಂದು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಆ ಕಡೆ ಮಸಾಲ ಆ್ಯಡ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಆ ಕಡೆ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಮಾಡಿ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ಜನರಲಿ ದೇ ಆಸ್ಕ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ಟು ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ.
ಬರೀ ಸೈಜ್ ನಾವು ಸೆಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಸರ್. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಎಷ್ಟು
Few people are there. 1.5 page, 6 marks, 7 marks. Half page, 3 marks.
ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಪ್ಯಾರಾಗ್ರಾಫ್ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಪ್ಯಾರಾಗ್ರಾಫ್ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಬರೆದಿರ್ತೀವಿ.
That is rare. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇದಾರೆ ಬಟ್ ರೇರ್. ಅಂತ ಮುತ್ತುರತ್ನ ಮಾಣಿಕೆಗಳೆಲ್ಲ ನೆನೆಸಿ ಬಹಳ ಕಷ್ಟ ಐತೆ. 10th is okay, but because okay, until unless it is pure even degree also, that's okay. Professional courses, that doesn't work. I still remember one of my friend in 10 has written that time Coleverity song has come. He has written entire Coleverity song in social science paper. You heard that Coleverity? Why this Coleverity? Ganesh. Now he got divorced. Rajinikanth's daughter. Then mode of doing act to bind firm. Anything which is done on behalf of the firm or executed in the name of the firm, then it will definitely bind the firm. You can do usual business of the firm, act on behalf of the firm, everything can be done. That's okay. Okay, then this is there. This can also be asked for 2-3 marks. Extension and restrictions of the partner's implied authority. What is implied authority? What is extension and restrictions? Earlier we have some authority with respect to some partner and some authority is there with the other partner. Now we are taking out this partner's authority. We call it as restriction and we are giving the same authority to this partner. We call it as extension, restriction. If you do this, when it is effective with respect to the third parties. The implied authority of a partner may be extended or restricted by contract between the partners only. Under the following conditions, the restrictions imposed on the implied authority of a partner by agreement shall be effective against the third parties. When it is effective, when it is known to the third party about the restriction. Yes, he does not have any authority to enter into those type of agreement. When it is already known to third party, then you can hold that we are not liable as a partnership firm if you supply. Our third party does not know that is dealing with a partnership firm, partner in a firm. In both the cases, see, I went to consider me and Madan are the partners in the firm. He is in charge for sales, I am in charge for purchases. Now my authority has been taken back, purchases. But I went to Bhumika and I asked, you please supply the goods to my firm. She does not know that I am I does not have authority to for the purpose of purchase. In that case, she can come and sue the firm. If she knows and supplies, then it is not at all effective. She cannot come and what is that to claim the money. That is first case. One is when she is already know that about the restrictions, then it is effective. Or the third party does not know that he is dealing with the partner in the firm. That means she does not know that I am the partner in one firm and she supplies that. Then also it is she cannot come and exercise the right over the partnership firm because she thought she is supplying for an individual person. She never thought that she is supplying for a partner in the partnership firm. That's what second point. And this is discussing from last so many things. Partner's authority in case of emergency, he can do anything for the purpose of protecting the firm from the loss, but he should do in what done by a person of ordinary prudence. What if happened in his own case? How does he act in his own case? The same activity done by here also. Effect of admission of a partner, is it effective? Yes, whenever a new partner comes, whatever the activity happened after the appointment of that partner, he is liable. But if he is agreed to take part in the existing liability also, he consents that, then he is liable for the past activity also. Then effect of notice to acting partner. The moment you give a notice to acting partner, it is as good as you have given the notice to all the partners as well as the firm only. Then liability to third parties. What is this liability to third parties? Liability of a partner for acts of the firm. That's okay, not so important. What is this? Any activity of the firm, the partner is personally liable. Liability of the firm for wrongful acts of the partner. Liability of the firm for a wrongful acts of the partner. What is a wrongful act? He has to do in some way, but he is done in some other way because of which firm has incurred the loss. Is it what is the effect of that? Now, if the partner is acted in the normal course of business, normal he has authority to act, he acted, but the loss happened. In that ordinary course, the firm is liable. But if he is acted in excess of his authority, or in negligent, or in fraudulent way, then partner is personally liable. Liability of the firm for misapplication by partner. What is this misapplication by the partner? Whatever the money received by the partner, he misused for some other purpose, personal purpose, some other purpose. Then what is the liability of the firm? Is firm liable? That is, firm would be liable in both the cases. What is that both the cases? First case is, you remember that example I have given with respect to fees collection? I was sitting in a cash counter as a partner. The money has given, one admission has come and I kept it in my pocket and I went out. I never accounted for that. Now the student comes to the classes. Then what is the liability of the firm? Yes, firm has to give the classes because of firm means partner has received the money, but I have misapplied that. It is my duty to again reimburse the firm. Second example is I have received the money, I kept it in a cash counter, cash drawer. When I gone out, Varshit came and took that money and gone. That means one is money has never came to the partnership firm. That I directly took it into my pocket and I went out. Second one is it came to partnership firm and it is misapplied by a partner. That is also case. In both the cases, firm is liable for the third party. Rights of a transfer of a partner's interest. That means whenever the partner transfers his right to some other party, then he has all the rights except what? He cannot question the accounts. He cannot raise any concerns. He is entitled to receive only the profits and profits, nothing else.
So if they do they fraud ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಅವನ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಕೇಸ್ ಫೈಲ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದಾ?
ಯಾವ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೆ?
ಇವಾಗ ಹೇಳಿದ್ನಲ್ಲ, he cannot question.
ಹಾ,
ಅವ್ರು ಕೊಡೋ ಪ್ರಾಫಿಟ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ವೇರಿಯೇಷನ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಅವ್ರು ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು ಅಂತ.
ಅದನ್ನೇ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. He cannot question anything. The actual profit is 10 lakh, but they showed it as 8 lakh. So 2 lakh rupees there? No, he cannot question why that difference is there. He can question if he is having 20%, out of that 8 lakh, 8 into 2, 20% means 1 lakh 60,000. If he does not receive 1,60,000, then he can go and file a complaint. I have not received my part of the share. But if there is any mismatch between the showing of accounts, matching of accounts, then he cannot question that. He is not entitled to interfere with the conduct of business, to require the accounts, to inspect the accounts of firm. He is not entitled to all those things. This is same. That's okay. Then this is important. Minor admitted to the benefits of the partnership firm. Can a minor be admitted for the benefit of the partnership firm? Yes, he can be admitted, but he can't be the partner in the partnership firm. However, for any loss incurred by the firm, the minor is not at all liable, except for the share of profit he has in the partnership firm. Consider minor is not a partner, but he can be admitted for the benefit of the partnership firm. He is entitled to receive some partner's profit, not partner's profit, share of profit. That later, some partnership firm went into losses. Now he can, all the partners are required to contribute the losses. Even the minor can also liable to contribute the losses only to the extent of the profits which is derived from the partnership firm. In excess of that, his personal assets are not liable. He cannot, the third party cannot sue the minor. Nothing is there. Minor is totally released from that. Now, the main concept with respect to minor is
Limits are 1 lakh rupees profit on that account actually present year only 50,000 hours. A million 50,000.
contribute more vehicle. That is what I am telling. To the extent of share of profit is derived from the partnership firm. The main concept here is whenever the minor is admitted for the benefit of the partnership firm, the moment he attains the majority, he has two options. Either he can accept the partnership, partner's position, or he can reject that position, he can withdraw it. For that purpose, he has a time period of 6 months. If he accepts within 6 months that he is going to act as a partner, then whatever the liability which is incurred from the moment he is admitted for the benefit of the partnership firm, for all those liability, the partner will, this minor has become the partner, will become liable. Second case, 6 months, within that 6 months, the minor did not give, the minor means recently become the major party, did not give the approval either to accept or reject, then he will be deemed to become the partner of the partnership firm. If he replies, yes, I become the partner, yes, he will be partner. If he does not reply within 6 months, again still he will be deemed partner. But if he replies within 6 months that I don't want to become the partner, then he has no liability, because when he was a minor, that liability is not going to take. And this 6 months, whatever the liability has happened, that also he is not liable. But the main concern here is the moment he elected to become the partner, the moment he is elected not to become the partner, a public notice has to be given. If the public notice is not given, then he will be held liable for whatever the activity which is happened.
So should the partnership be reconstituted when if he accepts?
Yeah, reconstitution has to happen because one more partner is being added. Dissolution is not required. Reconstitution is sufficient.
Should he contribute capital?
It depends on the agreement.
If there is no agreement related to that,
But see, partnership does not mandate to contribute capital to become the partner. You can bring some technology also. You can bring something for the partnership firm, become the partner. That is what they say. Like nominal partner, he can bring the name also. He can become the partner. See, the moment when he becomes a partner, he becomes a personally liable to third parties for all the acts of firm done since he was admitted to the benefits of the partnership firm. Then his share in the property of the profits of the firm remains the same in which you are a minor. Whatever the percentage of share is receiving, he also receives the same thing unless they change it by your agreement. If he elected not to become the partner, again give the public notice. then he is not liable for any activity which is done after the notice. Then he is entitled to sue the partners for share of property as well as profits. Whatever the share is there when he was a minor, if it is not received, he can sue and recover that money. What are the legal consequences of partner coming in and going out? Last 2 pages, we'll finish it off. I don't think it is required to be discussed. You see that in introduction of a partner, we call it as admission. What are the rights and liability of a partner? As I said again, he will be liable to all the activity which is done after his admission, but he is not liable for all the activity which is there earlier only. But if he consents that he is okay to take the responsibility of the earlier liability, also he will be held liable. When somebody is going to retire or something has happened, in that case, whatever the liability are there till the date of retirement and giving the public notice, provided he is an active partner, he will be held liable. The moment public notice is given, then he will not be held liable for all the future activity. And in case of death of a partner, no need to give the public notice, because public notice is not required in 2 cases. One is insolvent, second one is death of a person, insolvent death. Except that whenever somebody is going out by of retirement, resignation, something like that, the public notice is compulsory. When in case of death, even the public notice is not given, the partner can go out, but whatever the activity, whatever the liability which is there till the date of his death, for all those things, the legal heirs of the partner who is died, deceased, will be liable, but only to the extent of property inherited by the people. Again, insolvent also same, the same things. We can go through the retirement. No need to public notice is compulsory. Expulsion, one thing is there. Whenever you want to expel a partner, the expulsion should be consisting in the contract between the partners. That means it should be there in the partnership deed, if there is a partnership deed, and it has to be exercised by the majority of the partners. If you see here, removal, admission, it has to be by all the partners, but your expulsion should be by the majority of the partners, and that expulsion has to be exercised in a good faith. 3 things. One question is there on this concept only. You remember that example that wives of all the 3 partners went to the club and fought. That expulsion cannot be valid. The expulsion should be in the first of all, it should be there in the contract between the partners. Majority of the partners should approve, and it should be in a good faith. And before expelling somebody, it must be interest of the partnership. Again, it should be served a notice, and it should be given an opportunity of being heard. Liability of the estate of a deceased partner, I said, what is that? Till the date of his death, whatever the liability is there, his property is liable, legal heir, to the extent of property inherited. Rights of an outgoing partner to carry out on the competing business. Can I compete? For example, I am working here. Tomorrow I went out. Can I put one more academy? Yes, unless, because that restriction is only for sale of goodwill, the same geographical location. No, I'm just employed. Unless there is a non-compete agreement between the this firm and me. This firm says when you go out, you can't open your academy. That non-compete is there, then I can't compete that. Unless not, I can do a similar business also. But the main thing is I should not use this firm name for the purpose. It is not like extension of Success Edge Academy. It is separate academy that I wanted to run. It is like that. Agreement in register of trade, is it valid? Yes, as per the section 27 of Indian Contract Act. Sale of goodwill, that part comes in. Right of outgoing partner in certain cases. It is important. I feel this can be asked for current examination because it is not tested from so much time. You remember this continuing guarantee is okay. It is as good as that guarantee concept. For the future transactions, you can revoke the continuing guarantee. You are not liable for those things. But this is important, right, of an outgoing partner in certain cases to share the subsequent profit. Consider I retired on this date. On this date, the moment they settle the accounts, I am supposed to receive 10 lakh rupees. And they paid me after 6 months, this date. Now, even after retirement, I retired on this date, at this date, but I am getting money on this date. During this period, I have 2 rights. That means one of 2 rights. What is the 2 right? Whatever the money I am going to receive, I am supposed to receive. On that, by two rights are, one is the interest right or profit right. When they pay after 6 months on this 10 lakh rupees of outstanding settlement, either they pay 10% per annum interest. 10% per annum interest. What is the 10% per annum? Because it is 6 months, 10% into 6 by 12 into 10 lakh rupees. Either they pay subsequent as a profit in the profit, or in the profit, whatever the profit it is being made, and whatever my share is there here, I'm yet to receive that share. Either the interest of 10% or share of profit, whichever is.
So if they have made a part payment.
The remaining part payment is the entitled for interest or the profit. Is given here. Where
In the last
when the wait partners are retired firm without final settlement of accounts, then outgoing partner or his estate, then absence of contract, then entitled to the option of himself or his representative. That means partner may be died. When he is died, the legal representative will get it. When he is retired, then the partner only will get it. How much? Property of the firm are to the interest of 6% per annum. Okay, it is not 10%, it is 6% per annum, and the amount of a share of the property of the firm. What? Okay, we will continue. Almost we took half an hour break. Huh? The last unit, ಕೊನೆಯ ಅಧ್ಯಾಯ. ಉಪಾಧ್ಯಾಯ ಉಪಾಧ್ಯಾಯ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಲೈಕ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ, ಅಧ್ಯಾಯ ಅಷ್ಟ. ಉಪಾಧ್ಯಾಯ ಈ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಕ್ಯಾಟಗರಿ. Registration and dissolution of the firm. Till now we discussed, yes, partnership firm should be having so many rights. They're having different types of partner, different types of partnership firm. Okay, but how does partnership firm come to an existence? How does a partnership firm ceases to be in existence? All those things are being discussed here. It takes less than half an hour because purely compliance part. So, as we know, the registration of partnership firm is not at all mandatory in India, but in English law, it is mandatory. In English law, it is mandatory, but we are India. We are not following English law. So in Indian law, it is not mandatory. But if it want to get registered, then it has to follow this process. So what is that process? There is something called as ROF, Registrar of Firms. As we have Registrar of Companies, ROC, here there is something called as ROF, Registrar of Firms. So first of all, registration process consists of, you should make an application. When I say you should make an application, whenever we are making application for the purpose of registration of company, we would be required to file some MOA, AOA, those things, documents have to be filed. The same here also, we have to file something called as partnership deed. Having partnership deed is not mandatory. It can be, you can have a, what is that, a partnership deed in oral format also. But whenever you want to register your firm, compulsory you should be out in the written format. It is mandatory to have in a written form of the partnership deed if you want to go for registration of the firm, because unless until you decide what is the liability, what is the rights, what is the name, what is the contribution, what is the profit sharing, everything has been not decided, then register of firms will not register your firm only. That is why you have to make an application for the registration of firms, and that registration of firms, whenever making an application, it should be accompanied by the following documents along with the prescribed fee. Without fee, government will not do anything. You don't worry about that. You have to pay the fees. Whether you pay the document, give the document or not, that is not concerning them. Whether you pay the fees or not, that is what it concerns them. What is stating that the firm name, where is the business of the firm, what is the principal place of the business, and the names of any other places where the firm carries on business. For example, if the firm has any branches, one place, other place, then that name, that place also has to be intimated. Principal place means the primary place, head office. Then date when each partner joined the firm. If at the time of registration, generally all the partners joining the firm on the date of registration only. But if it is an existing firm, they want to reconstitute again, they want to go for ROF for the purpose of reconstitution, then you have to file on the different dates for different partners. Along with the name, full name and permanent address of the partners and the duration of the firm, it applies only for uh, partnership. It is for a fixed period of time. The last point comes only for that thing. If not, the partner, this point will not come. Along with that, along with this document, these details, if it is anything required for the purpose of partnership registration, you have to file that. And all the things has to be signed in a manner prescribed. Signed in the manner prescribed, like sign of partner 1, sign of partner 2, it will be like specified, right? Whenever you go to a check, writing check, like this customer sign name, there will be some prescribed place you have to sign that. And a firm name should not contain the following words. Shall not contain the following things. That is throne, emperor, empress, empire, imperial. It is not what you think as imperial. It is not imperial blue. It is imperial. Imperial means supreme. King, queen, royal, not your royal. Are words expressing or implying the sanction, approval or patronage of the government, except when it is approved by state government and with the consent to use such word. If you want to use any of this word, first of all, it is not allowed. If specifically want to use, go to the Sidramaya and ask for the permission. State government permission is given, then you can do it. Yes, sir.
ರಾಯಲ್ ಅಂತ ಇಂಪೀರಿಯಲ್
ಹಂಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಪ್ಪ. Royal king, royal British, something like royal means king part. They are like the synonyms of the king. I told royal star. It is not royal star. It is royal. Huh? Royal challenges Bangalore.
ರಾಯಲ್ ಎನ್ಫೀಲ್ಡ್
ಸರ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅವ್ರು ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಅದು ಆ ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ವರ್ಡ್ ಮಾತ್ರ ಇರಂಗಿಲ್ಲ, ಅದ್ರ ಜೊತೆ ಸಫಿಕ್ಸ್ or ಪ್ರಿಫಿಕ್ಸ್ ಏನಾದ್ರು ಇಡಬಹುದು.
No, you can't use that all that words. How can you start like Crown partnership firm? Samarth Crown partnership firm? No. Samarth King partnership firm. Sorry, Samarth King partnership. Or we can replace, shuffle that word. Queen Samarth. Samarth Queen ಅಂದ್ರೆ Samarth Queen ಆಗ್ತೈತದ. No, that is not right. Queen Samarth partnership firm, association, PF, that's okay. You can't use these things. No, you can use these things, but you can't use these words for the purpose of registration. Because it is not at all compulsory for registration, you can use any name. Samarth? ಅದೊಂದು ಐತಲ್ಲ, ಅದು ನಾಟ್ ಎಂಪ್ರೆಸ್, ಯಾವ್ದು ಹುಡುಗಿಯರ ಕಣ್ಮಣಿ, ನಮ್ಮಣ್ಣ ಸಮರ್ಥ, ಹಿಂಗೊಂದಷ್ಟೊಂದು ಡೈಲಾಗ್ ಐತೆ, ನಂಗೆ ನೆನಪಿಲ್ಲ ಫುಲ್. ರಾಜರ ರಾಜ, ಸಮ್ ಹುಡುಗರು ಕಾಡ್ಸ್ಬೇಕಾರೆ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದಲ್ಲ ಹಂಗೆ. This registration happens in section 59. ನಿನ್ ಮುಂದೆ ಹೇಳಿ ತಪ್ಪಾಯ್ತು ಅದಿಲ್ಲ. ನೀನೇ ಹೇಳ. ಜನ್ಮ ನಮ್ದೇನೋ ಅವಿನಾಭಾವ ಸಂಬಂಧ ಇದೆ, ಎಷ್ಟು ಜನ್ಮದಿದೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ಒಂಥರ ನಾಟ್ ರಿವೆಂಜ್, ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಕರ್ಮ. ಐ ಡೋಂಟ್ ಲವ್ ಹಿಮ್, ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಕರ್ಮ ರಿಟರ್ನ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ನೀ ಅವಾಗ ಏನೋ ಮಾಡಿರ್ಬೇಕು ನಂಗೆ, ಅದನ್ನ ನಾನು ವಿತ್ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಬಡ್ಡಿ ಸೇರಿಸಿ ಸುತ್ಕೊಂಡ್ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೆ ಈಗ. Okay, registration is there in section 59. That section 59 means you have to comply with section 58. That's what they say. You have to make an application for section under section 58 by following all those things. The name should not contain all this, and you have to file, deliver all those documents to registrar. It is not online application. You have to go offline and file that. Actually, this ROF, registrar of firms, will be there in a place called a sub registrar office. Alle irte generally. Then late registration and payment of penalty. What is this late registration and payment of penalty? If you already started a partnership firm and it's 1 year over and you go for registration later after 1 year, then you will be a, what is that, penalty of 100 rupees for every year of delay thereof. 100 rupees. 100 means 100 rupees. Maharashtra, they use the word Marathi, 100. 100 rupees means 100 rupees. ಇದಲ್ಲ 100. ನಾನು ನಿನ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೆ.
ನಾನೇನ್ ಮಾಡಿದೆ?
ನೀನು ರಾತ್ರಿ ಮಲ್ಕೊಂಡಾಗ ಕೇಳ್ತೀನಿ ನಾ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೆ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ನನ್ನ ಕಡೆ ಇಲ್ಲ, ನಿನ್ಗೆ ಅದು. So if it is not registered, this is important. What is the consequence of not registration? I was earlier telling it is not mandatory to register, but what are the disadvantages of non-registration of partnership firm? The disadvantages are no suit in court, civil court by a firm or other co-partners against the third party. That means you supplied any goods and he did not make the payment, third party, then you cannot go. Either you can't go, either your partners also can't go to the court. Why it is civil court? Because it is a civil matter. It is not a criminal matter. You cannot go with this thing to the criminal court. You can never file the civil suit in the civil court, either by the firm or by other partners against third parties. But third parties can file case on you, so can file suit on you. That is possible. And there is no relief to the partners for set off of the claim. What is the set off of the claim? Consider partner borrowed some money. We call it as the drawings of the partners, and partners contributed some capital. Can he set off that money? Max to max, he can set off if the suit to be valued is more than 100 rupees or pursuit thereof. Then you can go for set off. If not, you cannot go for set off. What is this set off? Set off can be that one thing. Second thing is you borrowed some money from even bank also, and you are having some deposit in the bank. Can you set off that? Yes, only to the extent of 100 rupees if it is not registered. If it is registered, you have an option to set off any number of value. Then aggrieved partner also cannot bring a legal action against other partner or the firm. That means what is aggrieved partner? Actually the profit is 20 crore rupees. The partners like 4 partners or the 3 partners consume the, what is that, polluted and ate the 10 crore and they disclosed 10 crore rupees only. Out of the 10 crore, 2.5 they disclosed. One partner who is suffered that loss of 2.5 CR, can he go to the court? No, he cannot go to the court. That party is called as aggrieved party. The party who suffered the loss can never go to the court when it is not registered. But because of the non-registration, these rights will not be affected. That means these rights are available. Exceptions: non-registration of the firm does not, however, affect the following rights. One is the right of a third party to sue the firm or any other partner. Outsiders can come and sue us. That is possible. And right of a partner to sue for dissolution of the firm or for settlement of the account. See, whenever somebody is retiring, it is a primary right that to settle the accounts. That is what the right. That right is not affected here, not because of the non-registration. And power of, okay, one is dissolution, second one is settlement. Settlement of, we just now seen. Dissolution is like some 3 partners started the partnership firm for the purpose of particular fixed period. Then period is over. Then one party or every party has the right to ask for the dissolution because the time is over. That right is always there, whether it is registered or not. Then power of the official assignees, receiver of the court, release the property of the insolvent partner and bring to an action. That means when some partner is an insolvent, then what? When a partner is an insolvent, then court will appoint somebody called as official assignee, or we call it as a receiver. Then he has all the rights, even the firm is not registered. He can sell the property, he can bring the money, he can settle the liability, all those things. Then right to sue or claim is set off up to 100 rupees, not exceeding 100 rupees. That right is there. And right to suit and proceedings instituted by legal representative or heirs of a deceased partner of a firm for accounts of the firm to realize the property of the firm. That means when the partner is dead, the legal representative can come and take over the money. That right is also there. These rights are not affected, but those rights which we discussed, third party, you cannot sue the third party. One partner cannot sue the other partner or firm for the purpose of settlement of accounts. and you cannot go to the civil court against third party. Okay, no right of set off of claim exceeding 100 rupees. Those things are there. Then that is the registration. Then comes the dissolution of the firm. Can the firm get dissolved? How the dissolution happens? No, if it is registered, then maybe, they have to go to court. If somebody has committed mistake or somebody is not in the interest of common advantage, something like that, then they can go. Court can order for this thing. Can voluntary dissolution possible here? Yes, that is what the benefit. Voluntary admission, voluntary dissolution, all these things are. That is why we call it as partnership is a beneficial thing. The particular partner goes out, but remaining partners carry on the business of the firm. It is called as dissolution of the partnership. In the case of dissolution of the firm, on the other hand, the whole firm is dissolved. The partnership terminates as between the each and every partner. See, there are two things. One is insolvency of the firm. Second one is insolvency of the partner. Insolvency of the partner will not dissolve the firm in entirety. He is gone. Then they can reconstitute it. But the moment the firm is insolvent, all the partners are also insolvent. Because firm is having unlimited, partners are having unlimited liability with respect to the firm. When the firm is insolvent, partners does not have the money to bring to the firm. That is why it is insolvent. Why it is insolvent? I am insolvent, that is insolvent. Then it is gone. That's okay. Then they have dissolution of the firm versus dissolution of the partnership. You can read it later. Then
They ask that.
no, I don't know. How do I know if I am at the paper?
They ask for how many marks they can.
4 marks. This one,
Ah.
4 marks. That is simple only. If it is simple, I don't do it. Modes of dissolution of the firm. I know you are intelligent. Everything is simple, but how do you dissolve? Either you can dissolve without a court order, or we even call it as voluntary dissolution. I don't go to the court. I will voluntarily dissolve that. Or second one is dissolution by the court. Two things are there. When it is voluntary dissolution is like by agreement you decide, okay, we will start the business, we will end the business, that is over. That is voluntary agreement. Then compulsory dissolution. When it is compulsory dissolution, compulsorily you have to dissolve. You have no other option other than to dissolve. Okay.
So when all the partners are insolvent.
Except one, if everybody becomes insolvent, one person cannot run the partnership firm. That is compulsory dissolution. A firm compulsorily dissolved by adjudication of all the partners, or all the partners but one as insolvent, except one, everybody is insolvent, or by happening of any event which makes the unlawful of the business of the firm to be carried on or for the partners to carry it on the partnership. The subject matter only becomes unlawful. Then it has to compulsorily get dissolved.
So what is different between unlawful and illegal?
Unlawful and illegal, both the same. There might be a small difference, I don't know, but they convey the same meaning. Unlawful and illegal. As far as me concerned, I feel it is same.
So illegal means it is expressly prohibited, but unlawful means it is not expressly prohibited.
Unless you say how it is unlawful.
So it's not mentioned that it is lawful.
Okay, might be there. For example, consumption of drugs is illegal. That is mentioned. That is we can it as illegal. What is unlawful?
The sale of alcohol on the days of Republic Day.
Maybe unlawful. That is not illegal. That is unlawful. Law does not permit to do on that. Gandhi Jayanti, October 2. Yes, right answer. Convincing answer. Triangle. Then dissolution of an happening of a certain contingencies. What is this dissolution of an happening of a certain contingencies? When these things happens, you know, none claps to do.
ಕುಡಿತಾ ಇದ್ದ ನಾನು ಹುಟ್ಟಿರ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ನಾನು ಅದ್ರ ಮನೇಲಿ ಇದ್ದ ನಾನು ಅವ್ರನ್ನ ಈಗ ಹಾಕೋಣ ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಇರೋ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ನನಗೆ
ಕೇಳ್ರಿ ಅಲ್ಲ ಅವನಲ್ಲ ನನ್ ಕೇಳ್ರಿ. On the happening of certain contingencies, then partnership firm has to be dissolved. Where the firm is constituted for a fixed period of time, then the expiry of the time, then you have to dissolve that. And you have constituted for one or more undertaking, and that is completed. Yeah, what is that particular partnership? The purpose is over, or by death of a partner, or by adjudication of a partner as an insolvent. See, for these two things you have to compulsorily see. They did not say about it is retirement, resignation, not. But if it is because of the death and because of the insolvent, firm has to compulsorily get dissolved. If it is other thing, retirement, admission, all those things, reconstitution is sufficient. Here it is compulsory dissolution.
there are 3 partners and 1 dies.
Dissolution.
Why is it?
Because death is expressly they said it has to compulsorily dissolve.
They can dissolve and then constitute.
They can constitute one more partnership firm with 2 partners.
Contract. This was contracted wherein everybody was.
That is there. See, this line is always there. But generally, when somebody dies, they generally dissolve it because they don't want to carry out that. That is what? It is just a matter of 10,000 rupees and 3 days of work. Then dissolution by notice of a partnership at will, whenever the partnership is ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ರಿಜಿಸ್ಟ್ರೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ಇಷ್ಟ ಖರ್ಚಾಗೋದು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದೆ ನಾನು. 10,000 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಖರ್ಚಾಗ್ತಿದೆ ಒಂದು 3-4 ದಿವಸ. ಇಫ್ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ದ ಕಾಂಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ಒನ್ ಡೇ, that instead of 10,000 it is 20,000, 25,000. That's it. Either you give the time or you give the money. If you don't give both the things, then you have to like register one partnership firm for your son. And last time it takes so much of time. But without money they don't anything. Even GST officer is also so harassment. You know that. If it go, okay, we will not go into that. We have to complete the thing. If it is a partnership at will, then by giving the notice, then partners can dissolve the partnership. These are the voluntary dissolutions. What are those voluntary dissolutions? One is by agreement, one is by compulsory dissolution, then dissolution on happening of a certain contingencies, then by notice of the partners by when the partnership at will.
Fixed period ಅಂತ continue ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ.
ಅದೇ ಫಿಕ್ಸ್ಡ್ ಪೀರಿಯಡ್ ಇದ್ದಾಗ ಪೀರಿಯಡ್ ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ವೈಂಡ್ ಅಪ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಂತ ಹೇಳಕತ್ತಾರ ನಾವು ಡಿಸಲ್ಯೂಷನ್. ಇಫ್ ದೇ ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂ, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಫಿಕ್ಸ್ಡ್ ಪೀರಿಯಡ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ನರ್ಶಿಪ್, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ನರ್ಶಿಪ್ ಅಟ್ ವಿಲ್ later. Then by the court, whenever people like you happens like insanity and unsound mind, then it has to be compulsorily dissolved. What ಕುಂಬಳಕ ಕಳಂದ್ರೆ ನೇಯ ಕೈಗಳು ಮುಟ್ಟು ನೋಡ್ಕೋತೀವಿ.
ನಾನು ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಿದೆ?
ಎವ್ರಿಬಡಿ ಸಿಟ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಕ್ವೈಟ್.
ನಾನು ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಿದೆ? ನಾನು ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಿದೆ ನೀವೇ?
ಹಿಂಗೆ ಆಕ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿದಲ್ಲ.
ನಾನು ಏನು ಮಾಡೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಅವಾಗಿಂದ ಹಿಂಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೆ ಇದನ್ನ.
ಇಲ್ಲ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾನು ಕೌಂಟರ್ ಇತ್ತು, ಬಟ್ ಕೌಂಟರ್ ಆಗಿದ್ರೆ ಟೂ ಇರ್ಲಿ ಸಮರ್ ಇಬ್ರು ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ, ಹುಡುಗಿಯರು ತಲೆ ಕಡಿಸ್ಕೋಬೇಡ. when parties becomes unsound mind or insanity, then it has to be dissolved. Insolvent is compulsory dissolution. Sorry, not insolvent. In what is it? Insanity. Except one person, if everybody becomes insanity, then it has to be dissolved. But here they're telling temporary sickness is no ground for dissolution of the firm. What is temporary sickness? You are ill for some period of time, that you can't consider it as insanity. Ning ಜ್ವರ ಬಂದೈತಿ, ನೀ ಏನೇನೋ ಮಾತಾಡಕತ್ತಿ, then you cannot say you are already mental. No, that is temporary insanity. Then permanent incapacity. What is permanent incapacity? You are not able to conduct the partnership business. 2 hands are gone, 2 legs are gone, 1 IC is gone, then everything is gone. Then it is permanent incapacity only. Or you have become what? Samartha? No. ಅಡ್ಡಾಡ್ ಮಾಡೋದಾರ ಹಂಗಾರೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಎವ್ರಿಥಿಂಗ್, that is incapacity only. Then misconduct. What is misconduct?
Wrong.
Missing a conduct model misconduct.
Anything against the affairs of the
Okay, but here also affairs is there. Anything which is not there in the partnership deed, if you are going outside and doing that, then we call it as misconduct. You are applying the partnership profits for some contribution to the political fund party. You can't contribute any fund money to the political party from partnership form. You have to do. You can do it by of company or individuality is there. That is what income tax recognized. Then persistent breach of agreement. What is persistent? Continuous. You consider did not file the income tax, did not file the GST, continuously doing all those things, then you have to compulsorily dissolve that. Then following comes into category of the contract. One is embezzlement, those things. Then transfer of interest. What is transfer of interest? Where a party other than the partner suing has transferred the whole of his interest in the firm to a third person, or has allowed to share his to be charged or sold by a court in the recovery of the arrears of a land revenue by the partner, then court may dissolve the firm, then it is happened. It is like transfer of interest. Whenever you remember that we discussed for the personal liability of a partner and for the partnership firm liability. So for the partnership firm liability, still we will discuss that. First we will use the partner's property, partnership property. After partnership property is insufficient, then we will go for partner's contribution. That what they have to bring. But before they bring their contribution, for the partnership firm's losses, first of all from their personal liability, they have to complete that personal liability. If there is anything left, then they have to contribute to the partnership firm. The same way, if the personal liability is there, partnership firm's liability is completed, after which some then profit is left, then only it will be distributed to those people. Partnership property, first for partnership's liability, then if there is anything left, can be used by the partner. Partner's property for the first partner's liability, then for the partnership firm's liability. That people, their liability. So that is what this thing. You did not pay the land revenue which is required to be paid by a partner, and government court has ordered that you whatever the share is there, you sell that share and get me that, then your firm has to compulsorily dissolve. Then continuous or perpetual losses, that means how much continuous they did not give. Generally we go by 3 years. 3 years continuous losses is there, then they have to shut it down. Then just and equitable grounds. What is just and equitable grounds? Wherever the court feels okay, right, then they can shut it down. Then dissolution of the firm, that's what, without the order of the court, just now we discussed, and by order of the court. And what are the consequences of dissolution? The firms get cease to exist. Then for all the acts after anything done, for example, firm is over, dissolved, one partner is there, still is representing it as a partner and buying the goods. For all those transactions which has happened after the partnership dissolution, partnership firm is not liable. What is partnership firm is not liable? Other partners are not liable. That is what I meant. And any activity, any transaction which has happened before the dissolution, even after the dissolutions also, partners are personally liable for all those things, because that has happened when it is a partnership firm. If the partner died, then partner's personal property, the property of the partner, estate of the deceased partner, all those things are there. Continuing authority of partners providing the mode of settlement of partnership. This is what I told, mode of settlement of partnership accounts. How do you settle the partnership accounts? Whenever you have a property, you sell the property of the partnership. First, settle the outside liability of the partnership firm, and if there is any money left, then give back the money which is contributed by the partners by way of loan advances. After that, if there is anything left, then you give back the capital contributed. After that, also something left, then share the profits as per the PSR. That's it.
As per capital base.
Huh?
As per capital base.
What?
Or sharing as last.
Last, no, PSR.
PSR.
Profit sharing, that is what we call it as profit. After capital is over, after outside liability, after internal liability, everything is over, then PSR. Whatever it is left, they consider it as profit and they say it in PSR. The same thing. This is also we discussed. Payment of firm's debt and separate debts. If it is separate debt is there, separate property first for separate debt. If there is any property left, then for partnership debt. Partnership property for first partnership debt. Then if there is anything left, then personal debt. That's it. Thereby we complete Partnership Act
1932
1932ರಲ್ಲಿ ಶುರುವಾಗಿದ್ದ ಒಪ್ಪಂದದ ಕಾಯ್ದೆ
2015ರಲ್ಲಿ ಜಾರಿಗೊಳಿಸಿದೆ.
Mukta is one student in intermediate. Mukta. ಆ ಥರ ಯಾಕೆ ಪ್ಲಸ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಜನ ನಕ್ಕೊಂತ ಇರ್ಬೇಕು. ಮೋರ್ ದ ಹ್ಯಾಪಿ ಮೋರ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ದ ಲೈಫ್ ಸ್ಪ್ಯಾನ್. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದ.
ಹೌದು ಸರ್, ನಾನೇನ್ ಹೇಳಿದೆ?
ಏನ್ ಓಂಕಾರ?
After is the best one.
ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಬೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮೆಡಿಸನ್. ಲಾಫ್ಟರ್. ಓಕೆ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಅಷ್ಟು ಜೋರ್ ಅಂತೀರಿ. ಮುಂದೆ ಬರೋ ಡಿಸೀಸಿಗೆ ಕ್ಯೂರ್ ಆಗ್ಬಿಡ್ಲಿ ಅಂತೇಳಿ. ಎವ್ರಿಬಡಿ ನೋ ಕನ್ನಡ ರೈಟ್? ಅಸ್ಸಾಂ ಹುಡುಗಿಯರು ಬಂದ ಒಂದಷ್ಟು ಡಿಫಿಕಲ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ ಕನ್ನಡ ಮಾತಾಡೋದು.
ರೊಟ್ಟಿ ಬೇಕಂತ.
ಏನ್ ಬೇಕಂತ?
ರೊಟ್ಟಿ
ರೊಟ್ಟಿ. ಅಲ್ಲ, ಎಷ್ಟು ಮಂದಿ ಪಾಪ ಅವ್ನಿಗಾಗ್ಲೇ.
ಅವತ್ತು ಈಗ ಇಲ್ಲ ಸರ್ ಇದು ಮಾಡಿದ್ದು.
ಅಲ್ಲ, ನಾನ್ 100 ಮಾಡ್ತೇನೆ, ನಂದೆಲ್ಲ ಲೆಕ್ಕ ಇಟ್ಕೊ. ಬಟ್ ಅವ್ನ ಪಾಪ ಈಗಾಗಲೇ ಇಬ್ಬರದ್ದು ಹಾಕಿದಾರ, ಮತ್ತಿಬ್ರ.
ಸರ್ ಅವ್ನು ಫುಲ್ ಕ್ರಿಕೆಟ್ ಟೀಮೇ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು.
ಭೂಮಿಕಾ ಕಡೆ ಹೊಡ್ಸ್ಕೊತ ನೋಡಿ ಎಲ್ಲ. ಯಾಕೆ ಏನ ACB ಅಂತ? ಅಕ್ಷಯ್ ಚಾಲೆಂಜರ್ಸ್ ಬೆಂಗಳೂರು. ಅಕ್ಷಯ್ ಚಾಲೆಂಜ್ ಮಾಡನೇ ಏನು ಅಕ್ಷಯ್, ನೀವು ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಕಡೆ ಹೋಗ್ತೇನೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬರ್ಬೇಕು. ಅವ್ನು ಹೇಳಿಲ್ಲ ಲಾಫ್ಟರ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಬೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮೆಡಿಸನ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ. ನಾವ್ ಇಲ್ಲೇ ಮೆಡಿಸನ್ ಹುಷಾರ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲೇ ಬರ್ಬೇಕು ನೀನು.
ನಾನು ಮಾಡೋ ಯಾರು ಇನ್ನೊಂದನೇ ಮಾಡೋದು.
ನಾವು ಮಾತ್ರ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ.
ಅದೇ ಸರ್, ಅವ್ನು ಅಂಡರ್ ಎಸ್ಟಿಮೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಬಾರ್ದು ಸರ್. 25 ಜನ ಮಾಡ್ತೇನೆ, ನಾವು ಬರೀ 11ಕ್ಕೆ ಲಿಮಿಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ತೀವಿ.
ನೀ ಅಕ್ಷಯ್ ಗೊತ್ತೈತ, ಕತ್ತಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತು ಕಸ್ತೂರಿ ವಾಸನೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ. ಅದಿಲ್ಲ ನೀನೇನ್ ಹಾಕ್ರೆ ಹೆಂಗೋ ಸಮರ್ಥ. ಮೈ ಮೇಲೆ ಹಚ್ಚಿರ್ಬೇಕು, ಮತ್ತೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಕ್ಯೂ ಓಪನ್ ಇರ್ಬೇಕು ಯಾವಾಗ ಏನ್ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ. There is one show, Laughter Chef, ಹಿಂದಿ ಒಳಗಡೆ. ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲ. ಅವ್ರ ಅಡಿಗೆ ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ ಮೊದಲೇ ರೆಡಿ ಮಾಡಿ ಶೋ ಮಾಡಿ ಆಮೇಲೆ ಅದು ರೆಡಿ ಆಗಿ ತಂದಿರ್ತಾರೋ ಹೆಂಗೆ ಅದು? ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಇವರೇ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೋ? ಅಲ್ಲ, ಅದೇ ಅವ್ರು ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾದಾಗ ನಾನು ನೋಡಿದ್ದೆ ಒಂದು ಯಾವ್ದೋ ಲಾಫ್ಟರ್ ಚೆಫ್, ನಮ್ಮ ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್ ನೋಡ್ಬೇಕಾದಾಗ ಅವ್ರು ಮಾಡೋ ಸಿಚುವೇಶನ್ ಒಳಗೆ ಅವ್ರು ಯಾವತ್ತೂ ಅಡಿಗೆ ಕಲಿಯಂಗಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಅನ್ಸೈತೆ. ಬಟ್ ಅಟ್ ದ ಎಂಡ್ ಯಾವಾಗ ಅದು ಟೇಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ ಬರ್ತಲ್ಲ, ಎಷ್ಟು ವೆರೈಟಿ ಮಸ್ತ್ ಇಟ್ಟಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ಕಲರ್ ಯಾವ ಕಲರ್? ಸಮರ್ಥ್ ಪಿಂಕ್. ಪಿಂಕ್ ಇಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಕಲರ್. ಸರ್, ನನ್ನ ಮನಸ್ಸಲ್ಲಿರೋದು ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಹೆಂಗ್ ಗೊತ್ತಾಯ್ತು? ಅವನ ಮುಖದಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾಕೋಣ ಪಿಂಕ್. ಏನ್ ಅಕ್ಷಯ್, ನಮ್ಮ ಹುಡುಗನ್ ಬೈಬಾಡ್ರಿ ಅಂತ ಅಕ್ಷಯ್ ಏನ್ ಗೊತ್ತಿರ್ಬೇಕು. ನಿಂಗೆ ಹೊಗಳಿದೇನಾ?
ಏನಾದ್ರು ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಟ್ರೆ ಸಿಕ್ಕಾಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಡ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂತ ಅವ್ರು ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ
ಸಮರ್ಥ ಇಸ್ ಮೈ ಫೇವರೆಟ್ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್. ಹಿಂಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಹುಡುಗರು ಹಿಂಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಂತ ಬರ್ತೀವಿ ನಾವು. ಓಕೆ, ವಿ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿಗಿನ್ ವಿತ್ ಏನ್ ಬರ್ತಿದ್ರೆ ನಮೀಶ್ ಅವಾಗಿಂದ ನಾನು ತಲೆ ಎತ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಿಲ್ಲ, ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗ್ತಿರ್ತದೆ. ಇನ್ನೇನು ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಒಂದು ತಿಂಗಳಿದೆ, ಈಗ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು ಮುಂದೆ ಅದೇ ಹೇಳ್ತದೆ, ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ನೀನೇನಾದ್ರು ಮಾಡಿದೀರ ಒಂಥರ ನೋಟ್ಸ್ ಮುಂಚೆನೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ 1984ನೇ ಇಸ್ವಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ನೀನು ಹುಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಿಲ್ಲ. ಹಿಂದಿನ ಜನ್ಮ ಅವ್ನ್ ಗೊತ್ತಾಯ್ತು ನೋಡು, ಅವ್ನು ನಿಂಗೆ ಮೊದಲೇ ಕಾಂಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ಇದ್ದಾಗಿತ್ತು. ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಓಕೆ, ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಓಕೆ. ನೀರಾಳು ಉಳಿಸಿದ್ರ ಹೆಣ್ಣಾಳಿದ್ರಲ್ಲ. So Companies Act 2013. Company means a company. Yes, company means a company which is incorporated under Companies Act 2013 or any other previous company law. When I say previous company law, before 2013 there was something called as 1956, 1908, 1938, 1890 something was there, 1880 something was there. There are so many Companies Act because in India there are so many companies who are there in existence from last 100 years. We got independence in last 77 years, I think 77 years. But there are some Tata company already completed 100 years. So whether it is any company, whether it is before independence or after independence, but if it is registered under Companies Act, whether it is current Companies Act, previous Companies Act, it is called as company only. Now, just by looking into this definition, company means a company which is as incorporated under Companies Act 2013 or any other previous company law. We don't understand how does the company operate, what does the activities of company, what does the not the activities of company. That is why there is a concept called as features of company. What is features of company? Before that, the company definition is given under section 2 bracket 20, 2 class 20. That is important. As per section 2 class 20 of Companies Act 2013, company means a company which is incorporated under this act or any other previous company law. That has to be remembered. You have to write the section number. If you don't know the section number, don't write the section number, wrong section number. Just write as per the provisions of Companies Act 2013. Company means dash, continuous. Then what are the features of company? The features of company are company is a separate legal entity. What do you mean by company is a separate legal entity? See, company comes into existence only after registration only. Without registration, it will not be called as company. Because it is registered under Companies Act 2013, that means under ROC, Register of Companies, it will be given a separate status as a person. That separate status is called as artificial legal person. He is a person, but not a natural person. He is an artificial person. But this artificial person came by way of legality, not by way of the natural birth. That is why artificial legal person. As he can be found only by artificial legality, he can be wound up only by using the artificial legal procedure only. It cannot be voluntarily wound up. If you want to wind up the company, again you have to go to ROC. Under Companies Act only you have to wind it up. So company is an artificial person because it comes into existence only after the incorporation only after the registration of under Companies Act 2013. Because it is artificial person, company cannot run by its own. There should be some members who become the owners of the company, and there should be some management who will be running the company. So this says, separate legal entity says, whoever is the members of the company are totally different from the company, because they are different person, company is a different person. Any liability of the company, members are not liable. Any liability of the members, the company is not liable. That is why separate legal entity. That is one of the biggest drawback in case of partnership firm. Partnership firm does not have separate legal entity. The liability is unlimited in case of partnership firm. But here, the third feature, first one is artificial legal person, second one is separate legal entity, third one is the limited liability. The members' liability is limited here. When I say members' liability is limited, I am not talking about the company liability is limited. Members' liability, whoever is the shareholder. Sir, how much it is limited? The limited depends on the limited liability depends on type of company it is. Type of company it is. If the company, there could be three types of company. If the company is limited by shares, then the liability equal to unpaid up value of shares. Unpaid up value of shares. For example, company issued 1000 shares. I bought 1000 shares. 10 rupees share face value. I paid 5 rupees now. Now, still I am liable for 5 rupees. That is what my liability to the company. Company is unlimitedly liable for the other party, but I am liable. My liability is 5 rupees with respect to the company. Unpaid value of the shares. Then, if it is a company limited by guarantee, second type of company is limited by guarantee. Generally, company limited by guarantee, generally I am talking, not always, it will not have the share capital. There will be members, but members will not buy the shares. Members will have a sharing ratio, 10%, 20%, 30% like that. But they will agree to contribute some amount of money. That contribution agreement is called as guarantee. I am giving a guarantee. If something happens, I will contribute this much amount of money. That is called as guaranteed company. In that case, the liability equal to the extent of guaranteed value by the members. The members, how much ever they guaranteed, that is what the liability of the members of the company. Third company is unlimited company. Unlimited, as the name only says, the members liability is also unlimited. That means to the same extent the company is liable, the member is also liable. Now company can be guarantee company with share capital, without share capital. What is this? Company can be only guarantee without any share capital, or company can be guarantee along with it can issue the shares also. In that case, the liability of the members, in case of company limited by guarantee and shares, unpaid value of shares plus guaranteed amount. Without share capital, only guaranteed amount. Again, unlimited company can also be with share capital, without share capital. That means whatever the unpaid value of share is there, that is capital liability plus unlimited liability. So when it is unlimited, why did they add again with share capital? When I say unlimited, anyway I am supposed to pay. Then why the hell they did add this with share capital, without share capital? Because there is one provision in Companies Act. Whenever it is unpaid value of shares, that can be called during the two times of the company in two places. One is during the life of the company. That means company is running now, company is in need of money. It can make one more call, it can make second call, third call, final call and ask the money. In case of company limited by shares, it can be called during the life of the company. Or whenever the company is being wind up, then also the share capital can be called. But this guarantee and unlimited company amount only called during the winding up of the company. They cannot be called during the life of the company. That is why it is different. What did we discuss? Artificial legal person and separate legal entity. Then limited liability. Liability is limited based on the type of company. Now,
So in guarantee and unlimited company, how is the capital collected? Like if they are not issuing shares, how will the company,
they'll have the sharing ratio. Shares will not be there.
how much they will
No, it depends on the agreement. MOA, how much they agree to contribute. For example, I am taking 10%, I am guaranteeing you 2 lakh rupees. I am taking 20%, I am giving you 4 lakh rupees. Earlier, what used to happen in case of shares? I am taking one share, 10 rupees share. 10 into 1, 10 rupees my liability. Here now, not one share. 10%, this is my guarantee amount. 10%, this is my guarantee amount. 20% guarantee amount. This is how it happens.
full guarantee amount they will invest it?
No, guarantee amount will not be invested in the company. Guaranteed amount can be called by the company only during the winding up of the company. During the life of the company cannot be called. So then how the company will run? That is what your question. Loan, maybe it can issue the shares, something like that. Guarantee money cannot be called during the life of the company.
Other than guarantee, there is no capital.
No, they can issue the preference shares also. They can issue the debentures also. There are some other type of capital that they can raise. So this is third one. Fourth one is common seal. What is common seal? It is a seal which is engraved in the metallic thing, which is kept in the safe custody of the company secretary. And every company will be having only one common seal. It is not like rubber stamp. Rubber stamp is different, common seal is different, engraved one. And from 2016, 15, 16 onwards, it is become optional. Common seal is like the official signature of the company. Because it is optional, then either two directors can sign on behalf of the company, or one director plus one company secretary can sign on behalf of the company if company does not have common seal. Even if the common seal is there, then they both have to sign, stating that this common seal is right. That is why to have the common seal and sign, then we will directly sign it only. That is common seal. Then comes, what is the next feature? Perpetual succession. What is perpetual succession? Company starts for the purpose of going for a longer race, not for a shorter. What is that? Not for a shorter period, or they don't know when the company will wind up. That is why we call it as perpetual succession. The succession means continuity of the company is perpetual. Perpetuity means there is no end. It is like an infinity part. So company goes on forever. Whether the members may come, members may die, members may get admitted, members may retire, members may go out, insanity, insolvent, everything happen. It will not affect the existence of the company. That is why it is one is separate legal entity. Existence of the member, removal of the member does not affect the existence of company. And because they are going out or coming in, it will not affect the perpetuity of the company also. Because company is a separate entity by itself. Then legal representatives of the member will become the member. There is one question also in that. All the four members are there. Four members are going in a car and met with a car accident, then they died. Then company is closed? No, company is separate legal entity where the members, so legal representative of the members will become the members and they start running the company. Yes. That's it.
If they wish to not continue, then it's
They can go to the ROC and they can get it dissolved. They can't voluntarily close it.
If they are minors.
Minors means guardians will hold it till they become the majors. Maybe wife it will go to wife, something like that. See, when I say member, they will not involve in the management of the company. Board of directors is totally different. See, members can become the board of directors, or members can decide not to become the board of directors. I am holding shares in many companies. I am the owner, but I never get into the management of the company. That is not my activity. I am just doing for investment purpose. That's it. Then judicial person or legal person is same. Then one of the important concept which is corporate veil theory. What is corporate veil? Veil, you remember that veil, that the lady's chunni, right? Veil. And there is always that veil. Veil means that cloth between company and the members. That is why it is separated. It is separate. What is that? The concept corporate veil concept is also called as separate legal entity, where the members are separate from company. But sometimes court will lift that veil and treat members and company as one. We call it as lifting of corporate veil. It is like a shield for a company, stating that company is different and members is different. But if that shield is removed, then both becomes same thing. When will the shield remove? There are five cases where the shield will be removed. First one is, what is it? To determine the character of the company. Do I need to explain the case? Not required. That Solomon also I did not explain, because that we discussed almost half an hour we spent on that Solomon versus Solomon case. So you just remember the names. Evening batch separate chapter togotinadalla. Regular class. It is crash course. Crash. We have to crash everything and complete the course. Not quality, but unnecessary content. See, if you know this, what I'm talking now, that is enough for examination. I do that for the purpose of show off that I know a few extra things than me. That's it, nothing else. ಮತ್ತೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಟೀಚರ್ CA ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಡಿಫರೆನ್ಸ್ ಆಯ್ತು ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ that is the just difference. It is not the certificate, it is the knowledge which we acquired during that process. So first one is to determine the character of the company. Sir, what do you mean by to determine the character of the company? Whether the company is a enemy company or a friendly company. To determine that character, court will lift the corporate will. That is first case. It happened in a case called as Daimler versus Continental Tires and Rubbers Limited. That case only we discussed in the class, regular class. We will discuss that later, not now. We don't have so much of time liberty now. Then that is first case, to determine the character of the company. Second one is to protect the revenue. Whenever somebody trying to evade the taxes by shifting the revenue from one place to other place, then to protect that, court will lift the corporate will to treat whether company and this person is same or not. To treat that, to protect the revenue, the company court will lift the corporate will. One is to determine the character of the company, whether it is a friendly company or enemy company. Then to protect the revenue or taxes. Then third one, whenever avoidance of obligation is being happening. What is this avoidance of obligation? I'll not take the case names, I'll just give a hint. One company promised, generally that is having a profit of 100 CR, and it told to its employees, if we cross that 100 CR of profit in the next year, then whatever the extra profit generates, for example, it happened 150, then on that 50 crore rupees of profit, you get some 20% of bonus, extra bonus. The company promised, because of which every employee started working day and night, and the profit increased to 140. Now, in excess of 100 is 40 CR. Company has to give a bonus of 40 CR into 20%. 8 crore rupees of bonus has to be given. But company is not ready to give that bonus. Why should I give 8 crore rupees to employees? That's why it has invested that 40 crore rupees in some other company, so that they can avoid this legal obligation of payment of bonus. If somebody trying to do it, then that company and this company, they live the corporate way. They treat both as one, and they are supposed to pay the bonus to the employees. Third one is to avoid the legal obligation. Then fourth one is when a subsidiary formed for the purpose of improper conduct or fraud. When the okay. One more thing is improper conduct, right? What is this act of agent? The case is like, I am a transporting company, consider VRL. So I bought some buses. Because I have done so many violations, the RTO, this Karnataka RTO is there, right? I took my new buses to the RTO, but they rejected the giving the licenses, RC, registration certificates, because you are not complying with the standards, all those things. Please get out. Because VRL is a separate entity and I am a separate entity, what VRL did is, they started one more company. That company and this company is totally different, artificial legal persons, and they transferred all the buses to the subsidiary, so that subsidiary can go to RTO and get the buses registration. That means you are indirectly trying to get the misuse of the this thing. That is why we leave the corporate field and we treat subsidiary and this holding company as one, and we don't give the registration for the buses. That is what the next case. And the last one is improper conduct. What is this improper conduct? It is like whenever I'll take the live example only, I'm teaching here. We had an agreement that I should not, whenever I leave the company, whenever I consider this as a company, whenever I leave this company, then I should not take students from this academy to my academy. That is what the condition. I should not solicit, I should not tempt the people to come there. And not telling that, see, because of me only academy was running, because of my law class only it was running, now I am here. You don't go there, nobody is teaching rightly, please come here. I should not solicit. That is what they agreed. But later, because I should not do it, I formed one other company, stating that that is different, I am different, and that company started marketing in that way. Then company court will lift the corporate will between the company and me, and they consider both as same. And if I solicit any students, then I will be held liable for all those things. 5 things. Corporate will lifting of corporate will. Why corporate will lifting? See, corporate will means it is separate legal entity. Separate legal entity means members are not liable for company liabilities and company is not liable for members liability. But because it is separate legal entity, sometimes members try to misuse the company because of separate legal entity. Whenever somebody try to misuse the company, court will lift that corporate will. That lifting of corporate will, these 5 cases. In addition to this, court can lift in any other case which is proved. That is not specified now. It can decide on case to case basis. This is lifting of corporate will. Then comes types of companies. Types of company, classes of company, 207 page number. What are the types of company? If required, possible, try to remember this. If not, that's okay. No need to remember this one. What is this? On the basis of liability, there are 3 types of company. We discussed it already. Limited by shares, limited by guarantee, unlimited company. Section number not important for this. No need to remember the section number. Then on the basis of members, there are multiple companies. One is one-person company. What is one-person company? It is a private type of company in which there is only one member. One member. And that one member will be responsible for all the businesses, purchase, sales, every type of business, that only one person is responsible. But if that member dies, then in the event of the death of a member, somebody should take care of the business. That is why there is one provision in this one person company provision, that is the member should appoint a person called as nominee. Who is that nominee? Nominee should be a major person. Okay, whether is a member or nominee, they have to satisfy 3 conditions. Not 3, there are only 2 conditions. Earlier there were 3 conditions. The first condition is they should be a natural person and Indian citizens. Natural person and Indian citizens. That means one company cannot start other one person company. For example, Reliance is there. Reliance cannot start other one person company. But Mukesh Ambani can start one person company. That means natural person should be there and citizen of India should be there. Indian citizen. Indian citizen is there, a condition.
Yes, sir, but days is not.
That is resident.
Restrict has been cancelled.
That's okay. Citizen is there, right? Yes, it is there. Indian citizen. Only a natural person and Indian citizen can become the member, can even become the nominee. That means for the purpose of nominee also you should be citizen of India as well as natural person. For the purpose of becoming the member also you should be a citizen of India as well as natural person. One company cannot become the member of other one person company or nominee of other one person company. If the member dies, then the rights, that means management of the business of the company will be done by nominee. Earlier there was a condition called as resident of India. Natural person, Indian citizen plus resident of India. Now it is like natural person, citizen of India, whether or not resident. Whether or not resident. Change agite alli barkobeku. Regular class bus idide nimge bus illa. Whether or not resident. That is okay. And next. And the minimum number of members is 1. Maximum number of members for OPC is number 1. Minimum and 1. Maximum is also 1. But when it comes to the number of directors, how many people can manage that business? Owner is always 1, but management is minimum 1 director, maximum 15 director. Maximum is same for all the type of company, private company, public company, OPC, every type of company. 15 directors is maximum. Directors means managers of the company. They are not the owners. Minimum number of directors are OPC 1 director, private company minimum 2 director, public company minimum 3 directors. All the 3 things are there. Now, this section number try to remember 262, 2 bracket 62. What is the minimum paid up capital? There is no paid up capital prescribed. But if you see, whenever one person is incorporating a company, he should appoint a nominee. before appointing, nominating somebody as nominee, you should take the consent of that nominee, whether he is okay to become the nominee or not. I directly cannot add Donald Trump as my nominee. First of all, he is totally insane. He is doing some insane activities. So how can I do the insane person to become the nominee? That is not possible. You know, what is it? Kailash Satyarthi, right? Who suggested his name is Kailash Satyarthi.
Sir, the only fight which he has not yet stopped is Raman Sharif. US people are talking like that. Literally.
You heard about that Palki Sharma?
She only told that.
She gives the bold replies.
Times.
I don't know. Times now something is there. So as Trump said, Indian economy is dead economy. Then she replied, Indian economy is not a dead economy. If something is dead, it is Donald Trump's approval rating. She has given this in a news media.
Sir, night ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕನ್ಸೇನೆ ಬರೋದು ಬೆಳಗ್ಗೆ implement ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ.
So you had to see for that Pakistani army who told that Indian air bases were damaged, and when they asked for the proof, the Pakistani army told that is running on the social media. So she replied, for the next watch, he would bring family WhatsApp.
I did not get it.
ಸರ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಪಾಕಿಸ್ತಾನ ಅವರು ಪ್ರೂಫ್ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರು ಇಂಡಿಯಾದು ಇದು ಡ್ಯಾಮೇಜ್
ಯಾರು ಕೇಳಿದ್ರು? US ಅವರು. US ಅವರು.
ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಸೋಷಿಯಲ್ ಮೀಡಿಯಾ ತುಂಬಾ ವೈರಲ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ಅದು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು. ಸೊ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಪಾಲ್ಕಿ ಶರ್ಮಾ ರಿಪ್ಲೈ ಕೊಟ್ಟು ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಏನಾದ್ರು ಪ್ರೂಫ್ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಅವ್ರ ಫ್ಯಾಮಿಲಿ ಗ್ರೂಪ್ ವಾಟ್ಸ್ಆಪ್ ಅನ್ನ ಪ್ರೂಫ್ ತೋರಿಸ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ.
ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ ನಂಗೆ ಈಗೂ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗಲಿಲ್ಲ, ಬಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅದೇನೋ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಸೆಂಟೆನ್ಸ್ ನಂಗೆ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ. ವಾಟ್ಸ್ಆಪ್ ಪ್ರೂಫ್ ತೋರಿಸ್ತಾರೆ ಏನೋ ನಂಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ.
ಸೋಷಿಯಲ್ ಮೀಡಿಯಾದಲ್ಲಿ ವೈರಲ್ ಆಗಿರೋದನ್ನ ಪ್ರೂಫ್ ಆಗಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟರಲ್ಲ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ವಾಟ್ಸ್ಆಪ್ ಗ್ರೂಪ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅವ್ರು ಏನ್ ಚಾಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು ಅದನ್ನ ಕವರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತ.
Now I understood. ಯಾಕೋ ಈಗ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು. So before you nominate somebody as nominee, you try to get his consent in writing that are you willing to become the nominee. If he says yes, then you can make him as nominee. But there is an option called as the resignation of nominee. If he does not want to continue, then he can resign and he can go. And within some 30 days, 30 or 15 days, I think 15 days. Okay, leave that. Within some number of days, 30 days only, 30 days, they have to appoint one more nominee. The member has to appoint one more nominee. And if the member removes the nominee, then within 15 days also, again 30 days also, they have to appoint one more nominee. The nominee should be there, but the time limit for appointment is 30 days.
Nominee also.
Only one nominee. Minor is not eligible to become the, what is that, nominee as well as member, because they should be a major only. Now, one single person can form only one piece, one piece, one OPC. One piece that girls wear, right? Even boys also wearing nowadays. How many I got here? One piece means only one piece. There is no pant, there is no shirt, only one. 70% of the body is covered, 70-80%. So we're discussing what is that? Hello. A single person can be a member of only one OPC. He can be the member of more than one OPC. A single person cannot be the nominee of more than one OPC also. One person can be maximum of member of one OPC, nominee of one more OPC. That's it. Can I become the member in this OPC and nominee in other OPC? Law did not prohibit it, but you can become. That is the loophole which is available nowadays. Then comes private company. Section number is important, 268, 2/68. What is private company? Private company means for any type of company, for any type of organization. For partnership, we have partnership deed. So for LLP, we will be having LLP agreement. So here there is something called as MOA and AOA. They are compulsory document that has to be filed with ROC. MOA and AOA. That MOA and AOA, to call it as a private company. Okay, there are two types of company, private and public company. What is public? Other than private is public. Private is like, if in the articles of association, it is specified 3 conditions, then only it is private company. If these 3 conditions are not there in AOA, then it is not a private company. Compulsory it has to be written in AOA, Articles of Association. Those conditions are restricts. One is a restriction condition, one is prohibition condition. What is that restriction condition? The private company restricts the transferability of shares. What is this transferability of shares? There are maximum number of members for two is 200, minimum is 2 members. Now 3 members are there. 1 member want to transfer the share to other member or some outsider. Can he share? Can he transfer? Yes, he can transfer, but there is some restriction. Restriction on the transferability of shares. What is that restriction? You take the approval from all the remaining members, then you can transfer that. There is restriction. It is not prohibition. I am not telling you not to transfer. I am asking you to take the permission and transfer. That is restriction on transferability of shares. Second one is prohibition condition. What is that prohibition condition? Company cannot issue the shares to public to subscribe. It is prohibited for any private company to issue the shares to public to subscribe its own shares. Then how can they issue the shares? They can go for only private placement, all those things. Private individual selected people only they can issue the shares. Maximum of 200 members. One is restriction condition, second one is prohibition condition. Restriction on the transferability of shares, prohibition on issue of shares to the public to subscribe the shares. Third one is very important condition. Based on this condition only, there are so many 5 marks questions are there in the examination, in the paper also. Except in case of OPC, that means other than OPC, the number of members are limited to 200. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ OPC ಒಳಗಡೆ ಮ್ಯಾಕ್ಸಿಮಮ್ ಒಬ್ಬನೇ ಮೆಂಬರ್. ಆ OPC ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಉಳಿದ ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಪ್ರೈವೇಟ್ ಕಂಪನಿ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಮ್ಯಾಕ್ಸಿಮಮ್ 200 ಮೆಂಬರ್ಸ್ ಇರಬೇಕು. But for the purpose of counting 200 members, don't include, for the purpose of counting 200 members, don't include employee shareholders. That means whenever the employees are there, you will give some ESOP, stock options. They are also shareholders, but they are becoming they are the shareholders because not because they are shareholders, because they are employees. So don't consider them as members. Then ex-employee shareholders, when they were employees, they got the shares, but they still kept it as shares only. That means except in case of OPC, limits the number of members to 200. But for the purpose of counting 200, employees are excluded. Ex-employee shareholders are also excluded. And third one is joint shareholders are considered as a single shareholder. Husband and wife, father and mother, son and father, son and mother, everybody holding together. 2 persons are holding. See, whenever you are a minor, the bank account is opened in a joint account. But how many accounts are there? One. There might be 2 members, but it is only one account. There might be number of shares, but it is only a single person only. It is like single person holding that shares. These are the 3 conditions which have to be satisfied. There is one question. We will see that question. That question is very important. See here, the question is, MNP Limited is a registered public company. Okay, I'll repeat the conditions. When can it be the private company? Whenever in its articles, if it is mentioned that restrict the transferability of shares. Second one, prohibition to the invitation to the shares to public. Then third one, except in case of OPC, the number of members are limited to 200. But for the purpose of 200, members are not employee shareholders are not considered, ex-employee shareholders are not considered, and joint shareholders are considered as a single shareholder. Now, if you look at here, you read this question and tell me. See, the question is like, it is public company now. Public company. Now they want to convert into the private company. It is 6 marks question in May 22. Recent examination, 6 marks. We solved this question in the class also. We have written the provision and we have written the answer also.
We didn't do this.
We did it. You go and see the recording. I still remember it. Not this question, but similar question. Either number of members it is there. You read this question. I'll bring water.
Joint shareholders 7 ಮಾತ್ರ consider ಮಾಡಬೇಕು.
ಎರಡು ಎಂಪ್ಲಾಯ್ಸ್ ಇಲ್ಲ.
Employees ex-employees ಬರಲ್ಲ.
Direct and relatives ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಎಂಪ್ಲಾಯ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲ ಅವರು ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್
ಯಾರು ಇಲ್ಲ ಓನರ್ಸ್ ಅವರು ಓನರ್ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ.
18 7 25
153, 153, 160. ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅದು ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಮ್ಯಾಕ್ಸಿಮಮ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ರಿಲೇಟಿವ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ
169 ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾ 160
163 14 ಆ್ಯಡ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಡ 7 ಮಾತ್ರ ಆ್ಯಡ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು.
Have you read this question? Red or green? Now tell me, how many members are there totally? 18 plus 26 plus 15 plus 14 plus 137? 2? See this question, totally 18 plus 26 plus 15 plus 14 plus 137. Total is how much? Huh?
210.
210 members, right? Huh?
Yes, yes.
Now they wanted to convert the company into private limited company. It is a public company first. Now they want to convert it into private limited company. Referring to the provisions of 2013 advice, whether a company can be converted into private company, yes, it can be converted. The answer for this is this only that much. Whether existing number of members need to be reduced for proposed private company, that means do you need to remove somebody to convert into private company? Because there are 200 members, maximum is 200, sorry 210 is there, maximum is 200 is for a private company. That means are you required to remove the 10 members and convert into private company? That is what they are asking in the second question. How many of you say yes? Yes sir, 10 people has to be removed, then only we can convert into private company. For that again we will go by the definition. Maximum number of members is 200, but for the purpose of 200 we will not count type of members. Here employees are there, that means 26 is not considered in the number of members, and ex-employees they are also not considered. Joint shareholders 14 is not considered, only 7 is considered. So after removing these things, if it is still more than 200, then we have to reduce the number of members. If not, no need to reduce the number of members, because anyway the people are not considered. Here 137 plus 7, 144 plus 18, 152, 162, total is 162. There is no need of reduction of number of members, because as it is within the limit of 200, then you can continue. How do we write the answer? Answer writing is, as I already told, it will be in the PFC format, provision, facts and conclusions. What is this provision, fact and conclusions? First of all, we'll write the provision. What is that provision? As per 2(68) of Companies Act 2013 is, private company means a company in which by its articles restrict the first one, restrict the transfer of shares, prohibit the invitation to the public. Then third one is, except the OPC, the number of members are limited to 200. And for the purpose of counting 200, we exclude employee shareholders, ex-employee shareholders, and what is that? Joint shareholders are considered single shareholder. That is the entire provision part. Then the facts you have to write. That means, in the given case, MNP Limited is having 210 members, and out of which contains employees of this ex-employees, joint shareholders, and the board wanted to convert into the private company, public company into private company. You have to write it in summary format, question, then conclusion. What is its conclusion? Conclusion is like, by applying the above provisions in the given case, the reduction in number of members is not required, as the total number of members for the purpose of private company is well within the limit, or within the limit of 200. So there is no need to reduce the number of members. You write this, you get 6 marks.
The first question is, yes, the company can be converted into private company.
Yes, company can be, don't write just yes. It is like yes, company can be, private company can be, sorry, public company can be converted into private company. Conversion of company is allowed.
Directors and directors employees.
Hello. Employees, shareholders. Directors are not employees. Directors can be of two types. One is contract for service, contract of service. Generally, directors are not employees. They are like consultants. Did we talk anything regarding the directors? Don't exclude it.
So if they hadn't mentioned and their relatives, then it would be a mistake, sir, because 15 is the maximum number.
Definitely. The question, don't try to find the mistake in the question. Whatever it is given based on that, you solve the question.
Sir, time
See, there is one more provision also there. If you want to exceed the number of directors more than 15, you have to pass a special resolution. Then you can extend it to any limit.
they have given and
Here they have given.
ಸರ್ ಅವ್ನು ಹೇಳೋ ತರ ನಾವು ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಟೆನ್ಷನ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಟೆನ್ಷನ್ ಇತ್ತು ಆ ಟೈಮಲ್ಲಿ ಇವೆಲ್ಲ ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ಆಗೋಕ್ಕಿಲ್ಲ ಸರ್ ಹೇಗೆ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದು ಅಲ್ಪ
This is about private company. Yes. Yes, Samartha?
Sir, ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತಿಲ್ಲ, ಸರಿ ಬರೋ ಸರಿ
ಏನಿಲ್ಲ ಹೇಳಿ ಹೇಳಿದೆ ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಏನ್ ಬೇಕೋ ಅದು ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಡಿ.
ಏನ್ ಹೇಳಿ
The next type of company is small company. Small company means, remember the section number 285, 2 bracket 85. Small company means company which satisfies two conditions. Both the conditions have to be satisfied. It is and condition. One is paid up capital condition, one is turnover condition. Where the paid up capital does not exceed, don't write a 50 lakh, it is 4 CR. They changed the number, but it is not updated here. It is 4 crores. And turnover, one is paid up capital, second one is turnover. Turnover is
40.
does not exceed 40 CR. It is updated in the next part. It is given here, small company. Illun update agilla. Turnover is not more than 4 CR. Paid up capital is not more than 4 CR. Then turnover is not more than 40 CR. And it can't be a section 8 company. Small company can't be a section 8 company. This is about the small company. Small company means any company as per section 285 of Companies Act 2013. Company whose paid up capital does not exceed 4 CR and turnover does not exceed 40 crore as per the latest audited financial statements. The question is there in the examination. One company is there that is having turnover of this much, paid up capital of this much. Can it be converted in? Can it be called a small company? Example: paid up capital is 3 CR, but turnover is 50 CR. Can it be called as a private company? No, because here both the conditions and condition. Turnover also less than 4. Paid up is less than 4 as well as turnover also less than 40. Both the conditions has to be satisfied. Howda? Then public company other than private company is a public company. ಹೇಳಪ್ಪ ಹೇಳ
paid up capital for example 4 lakh rupees shares 4 lakh shares into 200 rupees ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ 4 crore rupees ಮಾತ್ರ
ಇಲ್ಲ ಅವೇನೋ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆರಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ ಐನ್ಸ್ಟೈನ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ ವೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ
ಈಗ ಸರ್ ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ authorized capital 8 crore rupees
ಅಥರೈಸ್ ಕ್ಯಾಪಿಟಲ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿಲ್ಲ ಪೇಡ್ ಅಪ್ ಕ್ಯಾಪಿಟಲ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿಲ್ಲ
8 crore rupees ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ 4 crore rupees ಮಾತ್ರ paid up capital ಇನ್ನು 4 crore rupees ಇಶ್ಯೂ ಮಾಡಿರಲ್ಲ ಸೊ ಅದು
ನಾ ಏನ್ ವರ್ಡ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ದೆ ಹೇಳಿ ನಿಂಗೆ
ಅಲ್ಲ ಸರ್ ಇನ್ನು 4 crore rupees
ಅಲ್ಲ ನಾ ಏನ್ ವರ್ಡ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ದೆ
ಬೇಡ
paid up share capital meaning ಗೊತ್ತೈತಿ whatever the money is paid by the public is paid up share capital. Company may have 1 lakh million billion trillion crore rupees of authorized capital, I don't care.
paid up capital ಏನು
ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಡೌಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದಲ್ಲ
ಅಲ್ಲ ನೀನ್ ಡೌಟ್ ಈ ಡೌಟ್ ಈಗೂ ಕೇಳಬಾರ್ದು. ಪೇಡ್ ಅಪ್ ಅನ್ನೋ ವರ್ಡ್ ಐತೆ, ಬರೀ ಕ್ಯಾಪಿಟಲ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ನೀನ್ ಡೌಟ್ ಕೇಳಬೇಕಾಗಿತ್ತ.
ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇತ್ತ ಕೊಟ್ಬಿಟ್ರೆ ಕನ್ಫ್ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ.
ಆನ್ಸರ್ ನೀ ಬರ್ಬೇಕು, ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಅವ್ರು ಕೊಡಂಗಿಲ್ಲ.
ಆರ್ಗನೈಸ್ ಕ್ಯಾಪಿಟಲ್ ಕೊಟ್ಬಿಟ್ರೆ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಅಲ್ಲ ಸರ್ ಗೊತ್ತಿರೋದು ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಇಲ್ಲ.
ಓಕೆ ಡನ್ ಆಯ್ತು. That is public company. Public company minimum number of members is 7, maximum is unlimited. Private is 2 and 200. Directors 1, 2 and 3. OPC private company, public company. And there is no limit on transferability of shares in case of public company. Public company shares can be freely transferable. That is it. Okay. Public. That is only this public company. Then there are other type of companies, holding and subsidiary company and associate company. Huh? Holding and subsidiary company. What is holding and subsidiary company? Holding company means company which is holding one or more subsidiaries called as holding company. That means if you have one subsidiary or more than one subsidiary, you are a holding company. Like public company definition. Public means other than private. Here, subsidiary means, sorry, holding means other than subsidiary or holding one or more subsidiary. What is subsidiary now? Subsidiary means two conditions here. Subsidiary means. Subsidiary company means a company in relation to other company. Now A Limited is subsidiary company for me here. This is a company in relation to the other company. The other company has one of the two things. Has one of the two things in this company. Sir, what is that one of the two things? Has what is it?
Voting. Half of the voting.
Not less than one half of the voting power in the company or in the share capital. Both are same. Share capital and voting power both are same. One share equal to 100.
More than half.
No, not less. Okay. More than half of the voting power in the that is, you can write it as more than 50% also. Both are same. More than 50% of the voting power in the company. For example, B Limited is holding 60% in A Limited. Then A Limited is called as subsidiary company. B Limited is called as holding company. Or this half of the voting power is not there, but they can control composition of board of directors. What is composition of board of directors? Either appointment or removal. Out of those things, control should be there. What is control? Control means more than 50% is a control. So if you can appoint more than 50% of the directors, or if you can remove more than 50% of the directors in other company, then you are having control in the other company. In that case, you are a holding company, other company is a subsidiary company. If any of the condition is satisfied, then it is a holding and subsidiary company. I'm telling by way of sentence now, not this example. When I say this holding more than one half of the voting power, it can be held that directly also, indirectly also. What is directly and what is indirectly? A Limited is there. It is holding in B Limited 60%. Can I say B Limited is subsidiary company? It is holding company now. But A Limited is also there. It is holding B Limited 60%. 60%. B Limited is holding 40% in C Limited. Now A Limited is holding 30% in C Limited. Now A and B is holding on subsidiary. There is no doubt about it. But what about B and C? No, because only 40% less than 50%. It is not a holding on subsidiary company. But A and C? Yes, because directly it is holding 30%. Indirectly it is holding 40%. Total 70% it is holding. So directly or indirectly, through one or more subsidiaries is the point here. That means if you are counting the indirect shareholding, you should count only the subsidiary shareholding. That is what it is there here. Like it is not covering. A Limited is there. B Limited is also there. C Limited is also there. In which A Limited is holding 40%. B Limited here is holding 40%. Now A Limited is holding 30% directly. Now, first of all, A and B is a holding and subsidiary. No, because 40% is less than 50. So it is not holding and subsidiary. Holding and subsidiary is not there. Here, is it holding and subsidiary? No. Is A and C holding and subsidiary? No, because the provision says holding more than 50% either directly or indirectly. Both the things are considered here. When I say indirectly, you should hold by your subsidiary. Your subsidiary should hold in the other company. Then only it is considered. If it is not a subsidiary, then this holding is not considered. That is what we are telling. Understood? Hmm?
ಸರ್ ಇವಾಗ ಎ ಕಂಪನಿ ಬಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿ 60% ವೋಟಿಂಗ್ ಪವರ್ ಹೋಲ್ಡ್ ಮಾಡಿದೆ, ಬಿ ಕೂಡ ಎ ಅಲ್ಲಿ 60% ಹೋಲ್ಡ್ ಮಾಡಿದೆ.
ಹಂಗ್ ಬರಲ್ಲ.
ಅಕಸ್ಮಾತ್ ಆದ್ರೆ
Companies Act permitted ಇಲ್ಲ ಅದು. Subsidiary cannot hold shares in holding company. You learn it in intermediate, don't worry. Billion ಕಲ್ತಿದ್ರೆ ಇದು ಅಲ್ಟಿಮೇಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಇದು ಬ್ರಹ್ಮಜ್ಞಾನ ಅಲ್ಲ ಇದು. ಬಟ್ ಅದಕ್ಕೂ ಒಂದಷ್ಟು ಎಕ್ಸೆಪ್ಷನ್ ಐತೆ. ಆಸ್ ಎ ಟ್ರಸ್ಟಿ ಬಿಫೋರ್ ಸಬ್ಸಿಡಿ ಹಾಕಿಂತ ಮೊದಲು ಹೋಲ್ಡ್ ಮಾಡಕತ್ತಿದ್ರೆ ಹಂಗ ಹೋಲ್ಡ್ ಮಾಡಿ. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಕೆರೆಯಿಂದ ನೀರು ಕೆರೆಗೆ ಚೆಲ್ಲಿ, ಕೆರೆಗೆ ನೀರು ಕೆರೆಗೆ ಚೆಲ್ಲಿ, ಈ ರೊಟೇಷನ್ ಹೇಳಕತ್ತೆ. ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಪಾಸಿಬಲ್.
ಸರ್ ಒಂದು ಶೇರ್ ಹೋಲ್ಡ್ ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ.
ಇಲ್ಲ. ಒನ್ಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಸಬ್ಸಿಡರಿ ಯು ಕಾಂಟ್ ಹೋಲ್ಡ್ ಎನಿ ಶೇರ್ಸ್. ನೀನು ಸಬ್ಸಿಡರಿ ಆಗಿಂದ ಮೊದಲು ಒಂದು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಶೇರ್ಸ್ ಇರ್ತಂದ್ರೆ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ತೊಂದರೆ ಇಲ್ಲ.
ಇವಾಗ ಅದರ್ ಹೋಲ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ಕಂಪನಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಲ್ಡ್ ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ.
This is about holding in subsidiary company. If you look at the definition, it says a company is a holding company in relation to one or more other companies, means a company of which such companies are subsidiary companies. That means it has one or more subsidiaries called as holding company. What is subsidiary company? That is important. There is a subsidiary company. Subsidiary company in relation to the other company, any company, means a company in which the holding company controls the composition of board of directors. It is not and condition, it is or condition. Either you have the board of directors control or you have the voting power. Both, one of the things is okay. We have both the things, that is also okay. Controls the composition of board of directors or exercises or controls more than one half of the total voting power, either at its own or together with one or more of its subsidiary companies. Very important. It is not like, say, you can have this like this way also. A is holding 60% in B and 60% in C. Now both the companies are holding 50% in D. This is also holding 50%. Now A and B is holding on subsidiary. A and C is also holding on subsidiary. B and D, no, because more than 50% they are telling. More than one half. More than one half means what? More than 50%, 50 point something. This is also not holding on subsidiary. But A and D, yes, because indirectly it is holding by its subsidiaries, not by holding not by other companies. Understood? Okay. The next concept is associate company. What is associate company? Sir, I am not holding more than 50%. I am holding less than 50. But if you are holding more than 20, then other company is called as associate company. Now, A is holding 30% in B Limited. Now, B is an associate company. This company is called as investor company. You are called as investor, the other company is called as associate company. Sir, I am holding 40%, then associate 45, 50? No, it is joint venture. Joint venture. Type of associate, but it is separate joint venture. 51 subsidiary. The moment it crosses 50, it is subsidiary. 25, 20, associate. 15, no, not associate. No relationship at all. That is just a company where we invested some shares. No type of relationship. See, the definition of associate company is like in which one company have significant influence in the other company. You can exercise a significant influence in the other company. What is significant influence? In influence which gives at least 20% of the voting power or share capital in the other company. Significant influence means 20% of the voting power. Is that okay? That's it. Holding, subsidiary, associate company. Then comes simple company, listed company. What is listed? It is a company which is listed in the RSC. What is RSC? Recognized stock exchange. If you don't know, tell don't know. Recognize. ನೀನೇ ಹೇಳಿದ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಅವನಲ್ಲ, ಅವನೇನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಎವ್ರಿ ಟೈಮ್ ಪಾಪ. Recognized stock exchange. What is recognized stock exchange? In India, there are only 2 stock exchanges. Now tell me.
CBS.
NSE and BSE, National Stock Exchange and Member Stock Exchange. If any company listed in any one of these things, listed. If not, unlisted. There are multiple stock exchanges. What is that? Mangalore, Bangalore, Kochi, Kolkata, all those are not recognized. They are just the stock exchanges. Unlisted company means other than listed companies, unlisted company. Simple.
So what is the difference between recognition and recognized?
SEBI is having entire control over this thing. Parliament, SEBI has recognized this as mainly the price rigging and all those things will not happen in these things because entire control is there under the SEBI. Unrecognized, it is not majorly controlled by SEBI. So you can do some more or less price rigging, price bringing down those things. Then comes government company. What is government company? You remember that holding company, right? It is a company in which the other company is holding more than 50% of the voting power or control the composition of board of directors. Now just replace holding company in the name of government. It is a company in which either the central government or the state government or central with state or state with state or any type of things, only central and state, combination of any state and central, combination together, holding more than 51%. 51% or more now. Holding company, we said more than 50%. Government company, I am telling more than or equal to 51%. 51 or more. Holding and subsidiary, 50%. More than 50. Understood? It's a company in which government, central state, central with state, state with state, everything is holding more than or equal to 51% of the share capital or voting power, both are same. But try to use the word voting power wherever it is mentioned. Try to use the share capital wherever it is mentioned. Use the same meaning, but try to use it same. This government company even includes subsidiary company of government company is also government company. Sir, what is this? Listen. Now, central government plus Karnataka government is holding 40% here, 25% here. Can I say more than or equal to 51% is there? In which in A Limited, more than 51%, more than or equal to 51% is held by government. That's why this A Limited is called as government company. And there is one more company called as B Limited. One more company called as B Limited, in which A Limited is holding 52%. Or not, I'll not take 52%, 50.2%. 50.2%. Now, can I say, if you just think from this angle, which angle? This A and B Limited angle. Can I say A is a holding and B is a subsidiary company? But A is which company? Government company. The subsidiary of a government company is also a government company. You don't call it as a subsidiary, you call it as a government company directly. That means for first layer of this thing, more than or equal to 51%. But for the second layer, more than 50% is sufficient. Because we are taking the subsidiary condition, not the government company condition. Understood? That is the main difference, you have to keep it in mind. Understood? Then comes foreign company. See, government company important, foreign company is also important. What is foreign company? What is Indian company? The company which is incorporated in India is called as an Indian company. Foreign company means the company which is incorporated outside India, but having a place of business in India. Sir, how does place of business? Whether it is physical place or it is online place. Whether the business is conducted by that company or by agent of that company. Irrespective of these things, it is called as foreign company. Registered outside India, place of business in India, by physical or online, or by agent or by itself. Any of the things are covered in this foreign company. Then Section 8 company is important. We will discuss it later. That's okay. It is also important. Then comes a dormant company. Dormant company. What is dormant company? The company which does not have any significant accounting transactions is called as a dormant company. This includes even an inactive company also. Sir, what do you mean by significant accounting transactions? Any transaction other than these four things are called as significant. For example, company purchased, company sold, company paid something to employees, company paid something to taxes, all those things. Then it is called a significant accounting transaction. What is other than significant accounting transaction? Issue of shares to comply with the act, because If it is not issuing the shares, nobody will become the member. When nobody is becoming the member, company can't be the existence. That is why they say it is the company issued the shares for the purpose of compliance with any act. That is not a significant accounting transaction. That is a normal transaction. Second one is payment of fees by the company to register. To maintain that name of company, you have to pay annual renewal fees to the ROC. That annual payment of fees to the ROC is not called as significant accounting transaction. That is as per the law. Then comes payment of anything to fulfill the requirements of either this act or any other act. Statutory things is not covered here. Payment of fees to ROC, payment of fees to payable under this act or any other act, then issue of shares to fulfill the requirements of this act, then payment for maintenance of office records. Because there is one condition: if you incorporate a company, you should compulsory have a physical place of business. One office should be there. You can do business online entirely, but one office is there. Two, whenever I want to send a notice, where do I send? To receiving, to communicating, all those things, the company should have a physical place of business. For the purpose of that, either you can have a own place or you can have a rented place. If you pay rent, if you pay one person who is in charge of that office salary, that is okay. That is not considered a significant accounting transaction. Sir, what is this company? Whenever anybody has an idea, but they are not in a position to start a company. Example, some college students. I think I have given an example of what is it? Ola, Ola. Oyo is also there. Ola is. I think I gave Ola example. Bhavesh Agarwal. Hello, that's okay. Both the companies are startups only. See, Bhavesh Agarwal, when he was in IIT and saw that opportunity, like when he went abroad and came back, that cab opportunity available there. Here, Uber was there earlier in foreign country. Here it was not there. So he wanted to start that Ola company, but he was already in the college. So because if he don't start now, somebody might copy that business idea also. He will register that idea, patented idea, and incorporate a company, and he'll keep that idea in that company only. Why? For the purpose of this company is formed, not for doing business, for holding that idea. That's it. Or for the purpose of some future transactions. Whenever I complete my degree, I'll come and do the business here. That type of company are called as dormant company which will not have any significant accounting transaction. What is significant? Other than these four, everything is significant. Those were in capital. ಅದೇ ಹೇಳಿದಲ್ಲ, allotment of shares to fulfill the requirements of the act. Shares issue ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ how much is 1 rupee, 2 rupee? There is no prescribed capital. It is up to them. ನೀನ್ ಮುಂದೆ ಯಾರಿಗೂ ಉದ್ಧಾರ ಮಾಡ್ತಂತೇಳಿ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಂತೇಳಿ ಈಗ ಕಂಪನಿ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ ಬೆನಿಫಿಟ್ ತಗೊಳಕತ್ತಾರೆ? No. Section company can be only active company. That too only public company, not the private company. Then comes PFI, public financial institution. Public financial institution means they just give the list of companies. LIC, you can write there. IDFC, UTI, then these two are others notified by central government. That's it. Plus one consultation of RBI is there, without consultation of RBI is there. These three things are called as PFI. That's it. You remember that. This has come in the examination. Condition for an institution to be in PFI. When it can be PFI? No institution shall be notified as PFI unless it has established or constituted by or under central or state act other than the act or previous company law. That means when I say LIC, there is one LIC act. So you are a company, register the Companies Act. I agree. But other than this, you have to register one or the other central or state act. You have to compulsory register. Electricity company, banking company, all those things. Compulsory you have to register. Along with that, not less than 51%. This is same as government company holding. Government should hold more than 51% in your company, and you are even registered in some other act also other than company act, state or central act. Then only you are called as PFI. Then last company which we left is Section 8 company. We'll take a break of 5 minutes and then we'll continue. Yes. Understanding? ठीक है. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಒಂದು ನೆಗೋಷಿಯಬಲ್ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟ್ರೂಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಗ್ತೈತೆ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಬರ್ತದೆ 6A ಬರ್ತೈತಿ ಇದ್ರಾಗ 1 lakh ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಮೊದಲೇ ಒಂದು ಪೆಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಐತಿ. Ram purchased a second-hand car from his friend Rohan for 5 lakh. 2022 ದಾಗ ಪರ್ಚೇಸ್ ಮಾಡೋಣ. 4 lakh ಇಮಿಡಿಯೇಟ್ಲಿ ಪೇಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡೋಣ, 1 lakh ರೂಪೀಸ್ ಆಮೇಲೆ ಪೇಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ 1 year ಆದರೂ ಪೇಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ ಅವನು. ಸೊ ಆಮೇಲೆ ರೋಹನ್ ರಾಮ್ ಅಂತ ಮದುವೆ ಫಿಕ್ಸ್ ಆಗ್ತೈತಿ. ಸೊ ರೋಹನ್ ಮದುವೆಗೆ ಬಂದಾಗ ಇನ್ವಿಟೇಷನ್ ಕಳಿಸ್ತಾನ ರಾಮ್. ಸೊ ಆಗಂಗಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಅವ್ನು 51,000 ರೂಪೀಸ್ ಗಿಫ್ಟ್ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಚೆಕ್ ಕಳಿಸ್ತಾನ ಅವನು ಎಸ್ ಎ ಗಿಫ್ಟ್. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್. ವೆನ್ ರೋಹನ್ ಡೆಪಾಸಿಟೆಡ್ ಅದು ಚೆಕ್ ಡಿಸ್ಆನರ್ ಆಗಿ ಇದು ಇನ್ಸಫಿಷಿಯಂಟ್ ಫಂಡ್ಸ್ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ಸಲ್ ಡಿಸ್ಆನರ್ ಆಗ್ತೈತಿ. ವೆದರ್ ರಾಮ್ ವುಡ್ ಬಿ ಹೆಲ್ಡ್ ಲಯಬಲ್ ಫಾರ್ ಡಿಸ್ಆನರ್ ಆಫ್ ಎ ಚೆಕ್ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಒನ್ ಇಲ್ಲ. Whether Ram is justified in considering the offence as under section 138, it is you can't exercise 138 because 138 is only for wrongful dismissal of a check for commercial transaction, not for the gift, all those things. It is answer other. As per the provisions of NI Act 1881, the section 138 states that offence committed under check the registration of counsel insolvency and promises. Towards the some of non-checklist for the gift or donation, the security something is not considered as vendor liability. Resolution does not apply. ಎಷ್ಟು ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಅದು 7 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ಐತಿ 2 ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ಐತಿ is returned by the bank as unpaid. As the loan was justified in considering this as an offence under section 138 of the negotiation due to the following reasons. ಎಲ್ಲದೋ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ಸು 3 4 ಎಲ್ಲದೋ
ಸರ್ ಮಾಡೆಲ್ ಹೆಂಗಿದೆ
ಅಲ್ಲ ಈ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಒಳಗೆ ಐತೆ 1 2 ಇಲ್ಲಿ ರೋಮನ್ ಬರಕ್ಕೆ ಇಲ್ಲ
ರೋಮನ್ ನಂಬರ್
ಅದ್ರ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಬರಬೇಕು ನೀ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ಹೆಂಗ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಮತ್ತೆ ನಾನು ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಹೆಂಗ್ ಕೇಳ್ತೇನೆ ಅದ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಹೇಳ್ಬೇಕು ನೀ ಯಾವ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಹೆಂಗ್ ನಂಬರ್ ಕೇಳ್ತೇನೆ ಅದು ಕ್ವಶನ್ ನಂಬರ್ ಹಾಕ್ಬೇಕು ನೀ 6A ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಐತೆ 6A ಒಳಗಡೆ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಓಕೆ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಬರ್ದಿದೆ ಥರ್ಡ್ ಫೋರ್ತ್ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಕೇಳಿದಾರೆ ಅವ್ರು ಆ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ಸ್ ನೀನು ABCD ಹಾಕೋ ಸಮಥಿಂಗ್ ಹಾಕೋ ಬಟ್ ಈ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಮೇನ್ ಬರ್ದಾಗ 1 2 ಇದ್ದಾಗ ನೀ ಈ ಮೇನ್ ಆನ್ಸರ್ಗೆ 1 2 ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು ಬೇರೆ 1 2 ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಬಾರ್ದು ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಫಾರೆನ್ ರಿಲಯಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಟುವರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಪರ್ಸನ್ ನೀವು ಪ್ರೊವಿಷನ್ ಬರ್ದಿದ್ಯಾ ಇದ್ರದ್ದು ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಬರ್ದಿದ್ಯಾ ವೆದರ್ ದ ಲೋನ್ ವಾಸ್ ಜಸ್ಟಿಫೈಡ್ ಆರ್ ನಾಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲ ತೆಗಿ ಇವ್ರು ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟೆಡ್ ಬಿ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಯಾರು
ಸರ್ ಬಿ ಅದರದ್ದೇ ಇರಬೇಕು ನಾನು 2 ಬರ್ದಿಲ್ಲ ಬಿ
ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಕೊಡ್ಬೇಕು ನಂಗೆ ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಇದು ಟೋಟಲಿ ನೀ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಲ್ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಐತೆ ಬಟ್ ಆದರೂ ಈ ಇದ್ರ ಸಲುವಾಗಿ ನಾವು ಕನ್ಫ್ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗ್ಯಾನ ಟೋಟಲಿ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ನಂಬರ್ 6 ಎಷ್ಟು ಬಂದೈತೆ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಇಲ್ಲೊಂದು ಬಿ ಬರ್ದೆ ಅಲ್ಲ ಮತ್ತೆ ಓಕೆ quasi contracts and its silent features and responsibility of front of office. Quasi contracts are specified and those contracts that are considered contract by law. These contracts are not exactly contracts but are essential as they
ಇಂಡಿಯನ್ ಮಾರ್ಕೆಟ್ ಸಿಲ್ವರ್ ಗುಡ್ಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ವೀಕ್ ಇದೆ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ
ಫೋಟೋ ಕಾಪಿ ರಿಕ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಲೇ ಕಳಿಸ್ತಾರೆ ಅಥವಾ ನಾವು ರಿಕ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ
ರಿಕ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದಷ್ಟೇ
ರಿವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಯೇಷನ್ 2000
ಇಲ್ಲ
500%
ಇಲ್ಲ RTI ದಲ್ಲಿ 10 ರೂಪಾಯಿಗೂ ಕಳಿಸ್ತಾರೆ ರೈಟ್ ಟು ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್ ಆಕ್ಟ್ RTI ನಾನು ಕ್ಲಾಸಲ್ಲಿ ತೋರಿಸಿರ್ಬೇಕಲ್ಲ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಒಂದ್ಸರಿ
ಪ್ರಿಂಟೆಡ್ ಕಾಪಿಗಾದ್ರೆ 500
ಯಾವ ಪ್ರಿಂಟೆಡ್ ಕಾಪಿನೂ ಕಳಿಸಲ್ಲ
ಫುಲ್ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಷನ್ ಇನ್ಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಷನ್ 25
ಇದು ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಇದೆ ಇಲ್ಲಷ್ಟು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಮಿಸ್ಟೇಕ್ ಇದೆ ಬಟ್ ಆರ್ ಎಸೆನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ಸ್ ಆಸ್ ದೇ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಬಿನ್ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಬೈ ದ ಲಾ ಇದೆ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಲ್ಯಾಂಗ್ವೇಜ್ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅದು ರೈಟ್ the select features of quasi contractor the person's role in the contract master okay the parties settle the contract for this one something making the other person loss the responsibility of finder of last goods. Section 7 correct ಐತೆನಾ? Is this section correct?
ನೋಡಿ
ಮತ್ತೆ ಹೆಂಗ್ ಬರ್ತೀನಿ ನೀವು?
ಅವಾಗ ನಾನು ಹೀಗೆ ಈಗ ಮತ್ತೆ
ಅಲ್ಲ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಬರೆಯಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಡು. ಈ ಲ್ಯಾಂಗ್ವೇಜ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಡ. In the normal course, if any person non-intentionally forgets something or something belonging to him is lost by falling down, no, ಈ ಲ್ಯಾಂಗ್ವೇಜ್ ಎಲ್ಲೂ ಯೂಸ್ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಎಲ್ಲೂ ಲಾದಕ್ಕೂ ಇಲ್ಲ. Who finds it or the object belonging to comes to his notice, he must be responsible for the safety and returning them. No, this entire paragraph is wrong. The finder of goods, if required to, it is take the okay correct and not utilize the authorize the goods for any benefit. Okay. Pay back or return the goods returned following version holder with the responsibility of the. Okay. Okay. The goods not take care. The version one was for the damages and losses incurred by the most payment. Okay, correct. Almost correct ಐತಿ.
ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿರೋ
ಹ್ಮ್. Will present under the law. Right on this previous statement. ಎರಡು ಗಂಟೆಗೆ
ನೀನು ಬರ್ತಾನಿಲ್ಲ
ಸರಿಯಾ?
ಶ್ರೀರಾಮ್ ಪುಸ್ತಕ ಸರಿಯಾಗೋದು.
ಆಮೇಲೆ ನೋಡೋದು ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದು. ನಾಳೆ ಇದೇ ಸೆಷನ್ ನೋಡೋದು. ಆಮೇಲೆ ನೋಡೋದು ಹೋಗ್ರು ಕೂಡ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕು. ನೀವು ಬರ್ತೀರಾ? ಅಲ್ಲ ಮತ್ತೆ ಕರ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗೋಣ.
ಎಷ್ಟಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಸರ್?
2
5 ಗಂಟೆಯಿಂದ 5 ಗಂಟೆ
3 hours ಇಲ್ಲ ಅದು. ಅದು ಅವ್ರು ಸರ್ನ್ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಹೋದ್ರೆ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಂಗಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಕರ್ಕೊಂಡು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಾ ಪ್ಲೇಯರ್ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಕರ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೊಂಟಾರ. ಅವ್ರು ಸರ್ಗಷ್ಟೇ ಅದಾರ, ಮೇಡಮ್ಗೆಲ್ಲ. That's okay. Makes no difference. See, everything is ನೀನೇ ಮಾಡಿದೆ ಇದೆಲ್ಲ. ಜನ ಆ ಕಡೆ ತಂದಾಗ ಯಾವಾಗಾದ್ರೂ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೆ, ಇದು ನಿಂಗೆ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಇದೊಂಥರ ನಿತ್ಯಾನಂದ ಸ್ಟೋರಿ ಕೇಳಿದಿಲ್ಲ? ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಜನ್ಮದ ಮೀ ಇಸ್ ಟಾಕಿಂಗ್ ವಿಯಾ ಮೀ ಟು ದಿಸ್ ಮೀ. ಈ ತರ ಇದೆ. ನಾಟ್ ದಿಸ್ ಮೀ ಟು ದಟ್ ಮೀ, ನಾಟ್ ದಟ್ ಮೀ ಟು ದಿಸ್ ಮೀ ಟು ದಟ್ ಮೀ. Then comes formation of company with charitable objects. ಇರ್ಲಿ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರು, ಇನ್ನೂ 25 ನಿಮಿಷ ಐತೆ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರಿ. ಎಷ್ಟಾಗ್ತದೆ ಅಷ್ಟು ಮಾಡುವ, ಉಳಿದಿದ್ದು 100% ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ ಕಂಪನೀಸ್ ಆಕ್ಟ್. ಇಲ್ಲ ಟ್ರೈ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಬಟ್ ನಾ ಟ್ರೈ ಮಾಡ ಮೂವಿ ಲೇಟ್ ಆಗಿಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ. So Section 8 company. What is Section 8 company? Company which is registered for the purpose of some charitable objectives, like for the purpose of arts, science, promotion of arts, science, social, culture, commerce, religion, environment protection, animal protection, charity, or anything for the purpose of social benefit. If it is formed, generally there was something called as trust earlier. Trust. The extended version of the trust is charitable. This Section 8 company, charitable institution, where in which you have the limited liability only. So whatever the similarities are there under trust, same similarities are there here also. But it is with the legality that it has separate existence in the eyes of law. Where whatever the this company which is formed, it should not make any activity for the purpose of profit. But if profit arises in the course of doing that, that's okay. Doing something for profit is different. By doing something, if I get some profit, that is different. My intention is mattering here.
But they're not doing it.
No, it is not like that thing. For example, even though if you are doing, like, for example, giving free education for students, but you are collecting some 10 rupee, 20 rupee, 100 rupees as a nominal fee, that is also profit. Because whatever how do you spend the money? By way of getting the donations, by way of getting the contribution, you spend it, but extra you left, that 100 rupees, 200 rupees, that is called as profit. That profit, if it is in the usual course of business, that's okay. But you should not try to do it for selling the classes for 20,000, 30,000 and making profit. No, it is profit arising is okay. Doing for profit is not okay. And whatever the profit arose in the course of business, then that should be again used for the same objects only. You should not use it for anything. And Section 8 company cannot give the dividend by whatever the profit it has. It has to use that whatever the profit to the same objects of the Section 8 charitable institute only. Then, before you are calling as a Section 8 company, to call you as a company, you should be registering under ROC. That registration process has to be there. You have to go to make an application to call as a company. But because you are a Section 8 company, there are some tax benefits given to this your company, Section 8 company. That is why, whether you are a genuine company or not, to act as a Section 8 company, first of all, you should go to a central government and get a special permission, special license for acting as a special Section 8 company. If the government issues that special license, then you can go to the ROC along with that license, MOA, AOA, everything filled, and file with ROC. ROC will incorporate you as Section 8 company. Only we have a license of special license from central government. If the central government has given the license for one purpose, for example, nominal education, 100 free education, but fee will not exceed 100 rupees at any time. But later you change your mind, started charging some 20,000, 30,000 like that. That means you contravene your objective. In that case, central government has the power to revoke the license. The moment they revoke the license, then you are like a normal company. You have to convert it to either private company, public company, some type of company. Or somebody can apply for the court also. Whenever you are conducting in a fraudulent manner, this black money conversion into white money, this happens by way of only these charitable institutions only. If they come to know that somebody applies for court can order ROC to strike off the name, that they are no longer eligible. Or court can order to amalgamate you with the one more company which is having a similar objective. Or winding up of the company. Or declaring members' liability as unlimited liability. Any of the things can be done by the court. And if it is not compliant, then there is some penalty. You can go through the penalty. 1 lakh rupees, 10 lakh rupees, it is there. That's it. You can see there. What is the maximum number of directors for Section 8 company? Maximum number of directors for Section minimum is 3, because it is a public company. It can't be a private company. Minimum 3. Maximum 50. There is one more condition which I did not discuss. A person can be of maximum director in 20 companies. I can be a director in maximum 20 companies. I can't be more than 20 company director. But that condition does not apply here. That means I can be director in 20 normal companies and unlimited Section 8 companies. Section 8 company doesn't count panangilla. Like we do it in private company, we exclude these people. Like that, these companies are excluded from the 20 company limit. That's it. That is Section 8 company. You go through this once. You start from this point. Significant section 8 company, significant points.
ICA is also an NPO company.
Yes, it is NPO, but it is not a company. Non-profit organization it is, because it is a statutory body which is incorporated under what is that, under Act of Parliament. It is not like applied for the ROC and get it registered. It is government in on the body. It. Company can be formed by everybody, but the statutory bodies can be formed only by the Parliament of country. So it is still non-profit organization. Organization is non-profit. Non-profit company, non-profit organization. But they have more than some 2,000, 3,000 crores of profit. They got it by way of using usual course of business. Main is exam fees. How many times people write, 1,500, 3,300. It is like renewal is not so much, 300, 400, but it is too much. See, ICA president will have a treatment like one central minister. In around before COVID, I know all these things. A ICA chairman, president will be in a flight for at least 150 days in a year. He'll be traveling from one place to other place, one country to other country. It happened in 2014 or 15. That's what I'm telling. When I was in Hubli, I got to know this story in 2020. One of my seniors' father is a CA, who is there in Hubli. We have branches. We have South Indian regional office. We have central office, Delhi. So, whenever they go for some conference or some meeting, in from every region, they pick some, we call it as SIRC members, South Indian Regional Council members. So those SIRC members will pick some assistants from like branches. ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಯಾರು ಸಮೀಪ ಗೊತ್ತಿರ್ತೈತಲ್ಲ ಅವ್ರ ಅಸಿಸ್ಟೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಕರ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ತಾರೆ. One person when they went to Delhi is like the hierarchy is like ICA president, central council members, then SIRC president, SIRC members, then branch president, then branch members. I'm talking about the branch member after this hierarchy. The hotel room given, everybody will get a hotel room in Ashoka only. Hotel Ashoka earlier, I don't know now. Hotel Ashoka. The room for the least person in that hierarchy is around 14,000 in 2014. And like it will be on a refill basis. The fridge the moment you empty all the things, again they come and refill it. And Ubli people used to dump it in a bag and next day also refill, again next day dump it, bring it to the home. That's what they used to do it. For this lowest level person in the hierarchy is only having that 14,000. Think about the ICA president. He is always having a presidential suit. It is one rumor which was there. It is on all time, before COVID, all time, there will be at least some 20 to 30 rooms are always booked throughout the year in Ashoka Hotel. Think about it. Those people are having direct connection with the government, these ministers. Anything they want to talk, they can directly talk. Actually, the people become president. These amenities are there, but they get these connections, right? Based on that, they can get the bank audits. Based on that, they can get some those things. That is why it happens. Why did I discuss that? I say section 8 company, but spend ಮಾಡ್ತಾರ. NASA, ISRO, they are not companies. They are non-profitable country developmental organizations. You don't even get the accounts in ISRO.
They don't promote welfare also.
Why?
Where does ISRO promote welfare? I mean, not exactly welfare, but they're not.
Sir, research and development for country's growth is what?
Yeah, oh, okay.
So don't go by this definition. ISRO done what? Does it do any profitable activity? ಕಂಟ್ರಿಗೆ ಏನೇನು ಬೇಕು, ಸ್ಪೇಸ್ ಶಿಪ್ ತಯಾರು ಮಾಡ್ತೈತೆ, ಸ್ಯಾಟಲೈಟ್ ತಯಾರು ಮಾಡ್ತೈತೆ, ಅದಕ್ಕೊಂದೇನಾದ್ರು ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದಟ್ ರೋವರ್ ಇಡ್ತೈತೆ, ದೇ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಸೆಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಔಟ್ಸೈಡ್ ಇನ್ಸೈಡ್. ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ವಾಟ್ you don't even get, they don't even maintain the accounts of those things because they don't want to leak that secrecy to some other people. If they maintain accounts, ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಇಷ್ಟು ಖರ್ಚಾಯ್ತು, ಇದು ಇಷ್ಟು equipments ಬಂತು, ಇದು ಇಷ್ಟೆಲ್ಲ ಬಂತು, ಇಷ್ಟು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ, then it is like leak. It is just like one page. This is what we received from government, this is what we spent, this is what we left, that's it. ಯಾವ ಪ್ರಾಜೆಕ್ಟ್ಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಖರ್ಚಾಗಿದೆ ಏನೂ ಇಲ್ಲ. It is in the pure discretion of the head of the ISRO, chairman of ISRO. That's okay. And main thing which we have to discuss here is, whenever it is a private company, public company, sectional company, we will again discuss in MOA. The name of the public company should end with the word called as limited. The name of the private company should end with the word called as private limited. PVT limited or private limited full. The name of the OPC should end with private limited OPC. Because OPC is a part of private limited. Private limited bracket ಒಳಗಡೆ OPC. If it is section 8 company, then Chamber of Commerce, Association, Welfare, these words will be there. See, I'm not telling the name. End of the name it will be there. Veeraj Private Limited, Veeraj Limited, that will be there. End name ending should be this one. Every type of company, public limited company, that is limited. Private company, that is private limited. Section 8 company, welfare, association, chamber of commerce. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರ್ಬೇಕು ನೋಡ್ರಿ ಅದ್ರೊಳಗಡೆ. Club, chamber of commerce, etc. My throat is already gone. Actually, cold water ತುಂಬ್ಕೊಂಬಂದೆ ಬರ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಇನ್ನೇನು ಮುಗಿಯಕ್ಕೆ ಬಂತು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ. So that is having effect. ನಾ ಇಷ್ಟೆಲ್ಲ ತ್ರಾಸ ಆದ್ರೂ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಉಪಯೋಗ ಆಗಲಿ ಅಂತ ಮಾಡಕತ್ತೀನಿ. ಯು ಶುಡ್ ಬಿ ವೆರಿ ನಾಟ್ ಗ್ರೇಟ್ಫುಲ್, ಅಟ್ ಲೀಸ್ಟ್ ಯು ಶುಡ್ ಬಿ ಹಂಬಲ್ ಟು ಲರ್ನ್ ಇಟ್. ನೀ ನನ್ನ ಸಂಬಂಧ ಏನು ಗ್ರೇಟ್ಫುಲ್ ಇರೋದು ಬೇಡ. ನೀಂದ್ರೆ ಎವ್ರಿಬಡಿ ನಾಟ್ ರಿಕ್ವೈರ್ಡ್. ಐ ಆಮ್ ಡೂಯಿಂಗ್ ಮೈ ಡ್ಯೂಟಿ, ದಟ್ಸ್ ಇಟ್. ದೊಡ್ಡ ಗುಣ ಏನೂ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಐ ಲೈಕ್ ಟೀಚಿಂಗ್, ಐ ಗೆಟ್ ಮನಿ ಫಾರ್ ಟೀಚಿಂಗ್, ಐ ಡೂ ಇಟ್, ದಟ್ಸ್ ಇಟ್. Just because I like it, I don't do it for without money. Just because I get money, I don't do it because it is not my passion. ಎರಡು ಮ್ಯಾಚ್ ಆಗೋದಕ್ಕಷ್ಟೇ ವರ್ಕ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. If not, nothing being done. You also will not do it anything. Because you like doing and you are getting something in return, then you are doing that. ಯಾಕೋ
ಹೊಡಿಯಕ್ಕೆ ಬಂದ್ರೆ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಿ
ಹೊಡ್ಸ್ಕೊ, ಇನ್ನೇನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಈ ಹೊಟ್ಟೆಸ್ತ್ರ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀಯ, ನಿದ್ದೆ ಬಂದ್ರೆ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀಯ, ಹಂಗೆ ಇದನ್ನು. ಇಫ್ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಫೈಟ್ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್, ಯು ಫೈಟ್ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್. ಇಫ್ ನಾಟ್, ಯು ಗೆಟ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲಾಯ್ಟೆಡ್. ಅನ್ನ ಉಂಡ ನಮ್ಮ ಸೈಡಿಗೆ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಲ್ಯಾಂಗ್ವೇಜ್. ಊಟ ಆಯ್ತಾ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಅನ್ನ ಉಂಡ. It is like Kalyan Karnataka side, Ballari, Gulbarga, Raichur, Yadagiri, KKSRTC. KSRTC ಬೇರೆ, KKSRTC ಬೇರೆ. The next concept is promoters. Who is promoter? The person who has the idea to start the company. The person who does all the necessary activities to incorporate a company. The person who files all the documents, the person who signs the MOA, AOA is called as a promoter. Maybe group of persons, maybe single person. Single person is not there because, except in case of OPC, single person can't be there. For private, at least you need 2 people. For public, we need at least 3 people. So minimum group of persons we call it as. So the promoter is a person who is named in the prospectus or as identified by the company in annual return as referred in section 92. Not there for you. If he is named as a promoter in that things, from prospectus or annual return, he is a promoter who has a control over the affairs of the company, directly or indirectly, whether as a shareholder or a director or otherwise. It doesn't matter. If you are having the control over the company with respect to it, then you are a promoter. Or you are a person according to whose advice, direction or instructions the board of directors of the company is accustomed to act. As per you only they started acting. That is when you are board of directors. Simply, the person who conceives the idea of a farming company, they take all the necessary steps for registration. That person is called as promoter. It should be, however, noted that a person acting only in the professional capacity. See, just because who take all the necessary steps to incorporation of a company, the Aam Aadmi person, common person may not have the technical knowledge for the purpose of incorporating a company. They take a help of CA, CSCMA. Just because I do all the necessary steps to incorporate a company, I am not a promoter. I am doing it in my professional capacity. That is given here. Person acting only in professional capacity, solicitor, banker, accountant, not regarded as promoter. Then comes formation of company. A company can be formed. A private company can be formed with 2 or more persons. A public company with 3 or more persons. One person company with one person for the purpose of doing legal object. That's it. For the purpose of conducting anything in legal. That is what formation of company. Then incorporation. We will discuss incorporation, then we will wind it up. I wanted to do it till MOA, but we diverted. That's okay. Incorporation of a company. What is incorporation of a company? Whenever without incorporation, without registration, ಇನ್ನೊಂದ್ಸಲ ಕೈಯಿಂದ ಹೋದ್ರೆ ನಿನ್ನ ಕೈ ಮುರಿದೆ ನೋಡೋಣ ಇಲ್ಲ ನೀನು ಬೇರೆ ಬೆಂಚಿಗೆ ಆದ್ರೂ ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಅವ್ರು ಕೊಡು ನೀನು ಅಕ್ಷಯ್. Incorporation of a company. To call it as a company, first of all, it has to be incorporated. How do you incorporate? There is some procedure to incorporate. The procedure is like you should file an application in form number INC 32. Don't need to remember INC 32. That form name is called as SPICE. SPICE. Now the version 2 is called as SPICE Plus. SPICE means simplified pro forma for incorporating company electronically. That is a short form of that thing. It is a simplified pro forma. Earlier it is like you have to file some 40-50 applications. 40-50 times you have to go to the ROC. Physical application was there. Now it is simplified. Pro forma for making incorporation of the company electronically. SPICE. So in that you have to make an application. In that application should that application should along with consist of some fees anyway should be there. Along with that some details. What is the details? MOA should be there. MOA should contain all the requirements of that MOA. What is that requirements? We will discuss in tomorrow's class. All the requirements. Along with that, they have to give two declarations. One declaration is by, because incorporation is done by some professional people. One declaration by professional people. One declaration by the promoters people. What is the declaration? Either CA, CS, CMA, advocate who is incorporating the company has to give the declaration. Whatever the compliances which are required to incorporate a company, all the compliances are complied. We did not leave any compliances. Stating this, the professional people have to give the declaration, and the directors, promoters, all those people, whatever the information given to the professional people, everything is true and fair. Plus, one more declaration by promoters is that they are not convicted. What do you mean by the word convicted? Not punished, sent for jail. They are not convicted either in promotion, formation, and management of any other company in the last 5 years. They are not punished anywhere. Stating that they have to give the declaration. These two declarations, MOA application, SPICE Plus, MOA, then this declaration, two declarations. Along with that, they have to file in SPICE Plus. What should be there? Name of the company, registered office of the company, then name of the branch, either branch, plus name of the person who is becoming the first director, and the name of the promoters, and the number of shares they have taken. Then what is the total capital of the company, authorized capital of the company, and what is the address of the full name, PAN number, date of birth, email ID, address of the promoters or directors, DIN number. DIN. Director identification number should also be there. Everything has to be complied and it has to be filed with ROC. The moment you file with ROC, if ROC is satisfied, then it will issue a certificate called as Certificate of Incorporation. Along with that certificate of incorporation, as we have Aadhaar card number, company will be having a SIN number, corporate identity number. It is a corporate, one company identity number. Whenever it want to quote, it can quote. Now, once it is done, the moment it issue the certificate of registration, certificate of incorporation, It is a conclusive evidence that from that day the company came into existence. From after that date, whatever the name of the company is there, that name should be displayed in all the places, the branch office, the head office, outside the place, and it should be in the legible format. What is legible? It should be visible. Correct ಆಗಿರ್ಬೇಕು. It is not like you're writing some doctor writing and putting that. Legible and consensible. What is consensible? It should be easily visible. You can't write like what is this? No, not possible. You write as A limited. It should be legible as well as consensible. And whenever you display that name, it should be in two languages. One is in English, one is in vernacular language, local language. Plus, whenever you have a name, SIN number, certificate of registration, mail ID, everything, whenever you issue a certificate, sorry, notice to somebody, or whenever letterheads, billboards, and what is that? Website, wherever you want to communicate, you have to communicate. You have to communicate using the SIN number, name, mail ID, fax number, email ID. Everything has to be there in all those things. Whatever the details has to be there, everything has to be there. Later, whenever the ROC comes to know that you have incorporated the company by giving the false information, then ROC can have some rights. ROC as well as court. They can strike up the name, declare the members' liability as unlimited liability. They can ask you to merge with some other company, amalgamate with some other company, or wind up the company. Some are declare the members' liability as unlimited. That's okay. I discussed. These are the some rights which is having the court or ROC. And anything which I left. And again, whatever we discussed in that what is that Empress, Imperial, Royal, that name should also not be used. Again, you should not use any name which is identical or similar to an existing company.
But in partnership, that is not there.
Partnership, it is not there. Because partnership is not a separate legal entity. That is why it is not there. Ultimately, your liability is your liability, partner's liability only. And before the court passes any order, you give an opportunity for them to explain why they are done that. What is the effect of registration? Effect of registration means from that day, whatever the activity done by the company only liable. That is what effect. It is always separate legal person. It can go on doing its business. Effect of MOA will be effective. That's okay. We will discuss classification of capital in tomorrow's class. 1, 2, 3. Right. Around 6 pages are there. Okay, see, it contains very simple concepts. 3 concepts is left. One is capital, one is the doctrines, and the other one is which one? MOA. 3 things are left. We will discuss in tomorrow's class.
Some days for
Name registration, that is not there for syllabus. That's why it skipped here. Whose pen cap it is? Anybody? Shall we wind up? Yes, sir. ಮತ್ತೆ ಮಾಡೋದು ನಿಮಗೆ wind up ಮಾಡಿ ಬಿಟ್ಬಿಡಿ ಸರ್ ನಮ್ಮನ್ನ